Welcome to episode 195 of Both Down, the number one Blood Bowl podcast.
That was at the Amorical Cup in Novi, Michigan.
That is Wow, I've messed it
Wow.
up. I was going to say this and then that and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, that's Scott Prime. This is Steve Kilowoggy Campbell. How's it going?
It's going great.
Good. And we're done.
Except,
Have a good week. No.
and enjoy the. Thanks for tuning in. Everything's great, actually, overall. Except I thought I'd stop being lazy and start my exercise walking again,
Mm-hmm.
and I chose today because I totally forgot about it yesterday, and I didn't do it on vacation, and then I didn't do it the week after vacation, and now I'm really tired because I've been out in the heat walking.
Well, perfect timing, right? When we are trying to entice people into going to events.
No, that's fine. We have plenty to talk about.
Yes, we do. We're basically just going to be talking about Amorical Cup this episode because we have a lot to talk about, and we went to Amorical Cup. Anything we want to talk about before we get into it?
How are we doing this? We're gonna do days, our journeys, like we do normally.
We'll do segment one leading up to the event, and then segment two, the
Saturday,
event, Saturday, Sunday, and then whatever. Yeah,
okay.
that'll work.
So, okay, all that sounds great.
Okay. Before we get started, I did just launch a website, usabloodbowl.com, just as a way to put out information to try to get people to go to more events and have information more centrally located.
Yeah, you
Which I
say
guess I
that.
didn't tell Scott at all.
Yeah, you say that, and I still don't know what the hell it is. And you told me it's a place where people can find out stuff. The common question you're already getting is are you guys replacing the NAF?
No, of course not. Has
So
nothing to
let's-
do with that. It's
Let's
just
address that right now.
no. It's solely to promote tournament growth and people going to tournaments in America.
So what
Other
does
countries,
that mean?
other countries have all this.
Okay.
It's essentially you go there. Let's say you want to run a tournament in Nebraska, but you don't know who to contact. You can go there. You can look at Blood Bowl, USA, or Blood Bowl around the USA, whatever I named it, and find out who the coordinator is in that area. For every state that runs tournaments, we have a significant tournament posted so that you know a name of one to go look at. If you need the
Okay.
regional coordinators, they're there. If you have a club, we can post that information. All the people who do custom items in America, we can post that. It's a way to try to build up America. We have the World Cup going on. Now, obviously, we missed out on the bid at the last World Cup, and that was not great. Obviously, there are political issues at play, but hopefully that won't be the issue next time. And as such, I would like to see as many people get to events as possible. And we had 300 people at Amorical Cup. So we've got a ton of people out there. We just need more events. And if people have not been or want to run their first event, it's a good place to go, hopefully.
Okay.
I'm always open to suggestions. I threw it together in a week. I've had an idea for a while, but I just need to throw something together. And I
Okay.
just did.
Sounds good.
But yeah, Scott's about hurt because I didn't tell him.
I mean, I'm not really butthurt because if
I didn't think about it, honestly. I just,
you just posted it on something that it's we, and then I was like, I don't even know what the hell this is.
oh yeah, I did say we on the both down. It was more we, the people involved, but
No, I'm
Yeah.
still not. I'm really not upset. I'm just trying to understand what this is. And you're saying if somebody out there is in rural Nebraska and they're like, I want to run a tournament, but I don't even know where to begin.
Mhm.
They can go there and they'll find people to help them.
yeah, I mean, you can find that. You can find out how to run an event. You'll have resources to help run an event. You'll find, hopefully, gaming clubs in the future in the area.
Okay.
It's the first iteration, and I plan on putting more information on there. It just wanted to get something out there. We have a lot of people that go to World Cup now, and a lot of people that go to Euro Bowl. You know, those other countries tend to have a unified country specific Facebook or place to discuss stuff. We are
Okay.
much bigger than a lot of those places. We have a lot of state specific discords or region specific, Facebook pages and stuff like that. But there's nothing overall to give information to everybody in America. So eventually I would like this to be a good resource for that.
I got you.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, it might crash and burn in 2 weeks. Who knows? Or like someone mentioned, maybe, GW's like, you can't use Blood Bowl in the name. All right, send me a cease and desist and I'll ignore it.
Wow, look at you getting all high and mighty.
Now, what are they going to do? They're in England. By the way, they did announce that something new is being teased or debuted this Friday for Blood Bowl.
I'm assuming if we go by history for the last 30 years, it's going to be a Death Zone book.
Most likely. They did say the return of a star player. Kind of hinted at it. So
I think that
yeah,
that is going to be what's his face, the third,
Mumra,
not Mumra,
Ramtut.
Ramtut.
Yeah,
Yes, they're going to get the rights for Thundercats and Mumra, and they're going to have a Thundercat themed team. Also,
that replaces Salon. They can leap.
they're doing what Magic does with Universes Beyond. Now they're doing Teams Beyond.
Wow.
And we're gonna have a Thundercat team, and that's gonna be followed up by Cops, those action figures, and then we're gonna get Hug a Bunch, and
Shirt
then
tails.
the fourth one is Snorks. They're like an underwater team.
Yeah,
It's gonna be very interesting.
the Sea Elves. Yeah,
I mean,
I look
maybe
forward to it. I always liked All Star.
you
I
always
like
liked who?
All Star. He was the main character in Snorks.
Man, the fact that you know any characters is amazing.
I liked Snorks better than I liked Smurfs.
Wow.
Just a better show, I thought.
There was a time where I thought Smurfs were amazing and like the best cartoon on TV. And then just like one day I woke up and I was like, I don't like these guys. I just don't.
They're creepy.
Just
I
don't
don't
like
know.
them.
It's to me a lot of the problem. This is the same problem, weirdly, I have with like Harry Potter and Lock and Key. It's all the same villain. Like I need different villains. Harry Potter seemed really cool the first book, and then the second book is like, oh, this dude again, and the third book, seriously, and then it's just like, it's just Voldemort all the damn time. I want other villains, and yeah, they had side villains and stuff, but that gets old.
I got you. No worries.
Anyways, that nothing to do with Blood Bowl or Amorical Cup. Anything else? Or should we just get into it?
I guess I can ask you.
Yeah.
In my league, if you had to skill up some orc biggins, they already have block.
Yeah.
What's the next skill? You're probably the last person I should ask because me and you
Probably.
disagree on a lot of things.
Um,
But I am so torn because tour play now.
they have break tackle, right?
No, they don't come with that. So that might be a good one. But I haven't known all season what to give my two biggins.
Grab.
And they're finally forcing me. They're saying, like, you can't hold on to any more things. You now have to buy something. And I have one that has 18 star player points that I need to spend. I have another that has, boy, I don't know how many. A whole bunch. That might be the same one. That's Oh, I have one with 33 star player points.
Go for that strength boost.
I mean, maybe that's a lot of money though.
Yeah, but right now he just has what, one added skill?
Yeah, just block.
So take your chance. If you get the strength boost, yeah, it's a lot of money, but it's a big difference, especially now. And if you don't get it, like if you get something else, just take whatever. You don't care about losing points.
Maybe. I've been trying to keep a really tight budget. I'm scared that
Oh,
playoffs, I'm going to have to spend these points, and that will be my undoing.
do
I
you?
did lock in the
Yeah,
number one seed for the playoffs, which
nice.
people might go, "Oh, that's really good. You're doing great." Just remember, I had it last year and I got beat first round.
Do you have guard?
I don't. I have guard on a lineman, but not anywhere. And maybe a blitzer, but yeah, probably guard is going to be my choice.
That'd be, I would assume, the logical one.
Right. It will be able. I'll be able to do things with guard.
Guard one, frenzy the other.
It's quite possible. I mean, the one guy I think I can give two skills to if I really wanted to. So,
Jeez,
so yeah. Anywho,
just
I'm
randomize
so
it.
I'm so torn because I don't know what to do. So yeah,
Well,
randomize it. That's great, especially since it cost as much as you picking. So
yep,
no,
as it
no
should.
thanks, no thanks. All right. No, I don't. I would love to get into some Amorical Cup while I'm still awake.
Okay,
So
let's cut it short, and we'll get right back to it. We are back, and to begin this, we're going to just let Scott go and talk about his adventure because he started before I did.
yeah, me and Gary, we flew up Thursday morning. We got up at like 4:30 in the morning to catch a flight up there. We we thought we had a big layover in, I
Chicago.
don't know, Memphis. No, we went like Memphis or Tennessee or somewhere. Nashville. We went to Nashville on the
Oh,
way
okay.
there.
Oh, okay.
It was Nashville. We thought we had a big layover, but by the time we landed, we had about 30 minutes to get to our next gate. And as soon as we pulled up to we finally found the gate, which was on, felt like it was on the other side of the world. They were calling to start getting ready to board people. So we really had enough time to get to our gate, take a pee, and move on.
Well, that's good.
We get to Detroit around noonish. We take an Uber to the car, and then we begin the journey of hitting comic book stores in another state. We went to, I believe, six that first day. I did really bad here. I I don't remember a lot of the places we went to. um, so please forgive me when I can't tell you exactly
That's
where
why you
I
gotta
went.
take photos of places.
I mean, that's what I should have done. I was really just trying to enjoy the trip
Oh, yeah, I get it.
and see what was around. I'm trying to Google here and see if there's any way I can pull something up, and I think I just downloaded a virus to my phone. Wonderful.
Scott has become an old man.
No, it opened up something crazy. Shops worth a visit. I can't even
This is
remember.
why I make Google lists of everything.
No, you're very smart for doing that. Um, I want to keep searching for this just so I have some real content here, but
You can just
I
say, "Oh, this
just
is what you found." I mean,
man, I'm trying to just search this area for comic stores and it's not working.
I think people don't care anymore.
They might if they're like in that area. Oh, here we go. Let's see if some of these pop up.
So if you're in the area and you collect comics, thank you for sticking around while Scott Googles.
This is not helping me whatsoever. So forget this. Uh, I really cannot remember. I know Charles Tornow. He gave me a place and it was really good. Let's see. It was called. Hell, I don't know. This is the
Uh,
worst podcast ever.
well,
No. We went to a place called, well, one of them for sure was GOB Retail. It had a bunch of comics, it had a bunch of board games. It was very well laid out. It was a really nice shop. We had some cool wall books and stuff. There was another one called, that's the one we went to on our day. I can't remember the one that was like in an old school part of like it looked like an old school town,
Okay.
but I can't remember what it was called. But it all I know is we had a really good time. We went to a few shops that were just so, and we didn't get anything. But I was finding stuff left and right that I have this big comic list of like things I couldn't afford when I was a kid, but I'd like to read them now. And I'm missing a few issues here and there. We found a whole bunch of stuff. We closed down a few shops. We were there to the very end. Then Thursday night, we ate some barbecue, chilled out, and I think we ended up watching the hockey playoff game because Gary's a Knights fan. So we did that. The next morning we get up, we have breakfast, we get back in the car because you're not there. And we hit about 5 comic stores, and one of them, this guy cut me at what I thought was a great deal on some old books. And then he asked where we're from, and we told him from Oklahoma. And he's like, "What the hell are you doing up here?" That was kind of the theme. What the hell are you doing up here? It's like we're playing in a Blood Bowl tournament, and they all thought that was video games until you explain it to them, and then then from there, you they go, "Oh, I know Warhammer," and you know how it normally
Yeah.
goes. So they all thought that was really cool. The one place that they told us about was called, I think it was Big Ben's Comic Oasis,
Right.
and we looked that up because they were like, "What do you mean you haven't been there?" They're like, "What are you doing here? Go, you need to go there." And so we looked them up, and they were closer to the Tiger Stadium because we were doing the baseball game. And so we knew you were in town. So we were like, let's drop off all this bullshit that we bought and let's go pick up Steve. We'll try to go hit this shop before we go down to the Tigers game. So that's exactly what we did. We came home, we freshened up, we dropped off our stuff, we grabbed you, we hit the road, and you can join the conversation now because you were at Big Ben's Comic Oasis, which was an amazing store.
Yeah. I basically, my day, I just flew in, got a ride with a few guys to the hotel, said hi to a lot of people. The tournament was still going on, the Second Sons one. And then uh, helped Woody set up some of his stuff, dropped off stuff for the raffle, and then, yeah, headed out. Went to that comic book store, and as you said, it was pretty dang big. When we first got in, Scott and I saw all the Funkos, and we're like, well, I don't know about this one.
Yeah, a little bit inside of me was kind of like wah, wah, wah.
And they had a whole
And then
bunch of dollar issues, and Gary went to that, and I was like, okay, well, I guess we'll look at dollar issues.
we walked around the corner,
Yeah,
and there was a million back issues, well organized,
very well organized.
like super well organized.
And at the height, you can actually look instead of multiple, and you have to get on the ground, which I hate.
Correct. Um, so we were in comic heaven, and we of course searched that place left and right, and then they asked us if we needed some help, and I asked for really obscure books, and we all found something, and we actually found more things. It was just what could we afford or were willing to afford that day. So, anyways, it was a great shop if you're in the Detroit area and closer to downtown. Big Ben's Comic Oasis is a place I do remember. So hit that one
Yeah,
for
they
sure.
they had a ton of old issues too, which I rarely see. Like they had boxes of '50s comics and '40s.
I mean, they had boxes. There's a Defender story in the back of a Howard the Duck Marvel Treasury Edition book. Those big, giant, bigger than magazine sized books that
Hmm.
really nobody even wants anymore because what do you do with them and
Yeah.
how do you store them and everything? I thought, I'll just look. Well, not only did they have it, they said, which of these 5 copies is your best deal? Because, so I had to look at, what condition this is compared to this one. And anyways, I was really happy to find that. So anyways, good time. From that point, we went. So we thought, I don't know why we thought, or maybe I thought, I shouldn't say we. I figured a few more people might go to the baseball game, but come to find out, we weren't the only people with the idea of we're in town, we should go to a baseball game.
Yeah, there was a lot of people.
Where we were sitting, James Luft and some Florida guys were with us in that area. We were out in left field, but I come to find out that there was a multitude of people scattered about at the game Friday night. So it
It
was hat night.
it was hat night, and I did not bring mine home because it was too big.
Oh, you didn't?
No, there was two in the hotel room. Somehow Craig got one, but I just I couldn't fit any more in my bag. I mean, they're nice, but they're not. I'm going to wear it to the airport with two on my
Why
head
not?
home.
Why not?
No, thank you.
You, you look like you owned an island full of dinosaurs.
Ah, Jurassic Park. But it's actually a really nice stadium. We went, as we walked in, very nice outside, had statues of the tigers and all this. And inside, there's a food court, which, you typically see. What you don't typically see is a carousel, where all the carousel animals are tigers. It's neat.
that that was different. Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, there was actually like a designated food court in addition to all the other food everywhere.
yeah, and Gary and I were like, we don't really want to get, stadium food. So we got ice cream in a helmet, so we can have little helmets. And
Oh
you
man.
you went off to get your pierogies.
Yeah, I looked at the menu and I was like, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try this, and I did, and I loved every second of it. You buttholes were like, we're gonna leave in the fourth inning, which really pissed me off. But
You could have stayed.
well, I thought James Luft only had a vehicle that could hold his crew
Yeah.
because that was the original thing. And he was like, I'm going to try to get a van, but they said they couldn't get a van. And so I didn't even bother asking once it started raining because I was like, well, if it does rain us out, then we might as well leave.
Yeah.
Um, I was really upset to find out that it never really got worse. The rain didn't. And they stayed for, I guess, the whole game. And then
Hmm.
they went and saw RoboCop statue, which is what
Oh.
was on my list of things to do.
Well, we should have done that. I was on my list of things to do too, but we just didn't.
No, they were all poo pooing, like, wow, you want to be here, really? I saw the stadium. We can leave. And I'm like, you,
That
you
really,
lame asses.
really was all I cared about. I mean, I'm
Right.
not so much a baseball fan as I am a Cubs fan. And it was cool seeing the stadium, it's doing all that, but
Out in the outfield, though, they had this cool area where they had a bunch of like statues of their legendary Tigers
yeah, that
players.
was awesome.
That was really neat. So me and Steve, hit the stadium that way and took some pictures and stuff like that.
The way Eric
Uh,
said he looked at his phone and he said, "Oh yeah, it's coming." So we thought for sure that it was going to rain out.
it
But
didn't.
oh well,
Um, so we left.
we had Mexican food by the hotel.
Yeah, these fools didn't wanted Mexican food by the hotel, and I just sat there and watched them eat because I was full.
It was really good.
You guys say that. I bet if I was eating with y'all wouldn't have said that
Why would I change what I'm saying because you didn't eat?
because you're trying to rub it into my face.
No, you could have had some. I mean,
I'm just teasing you. I don't think we did anything that night that I can remember.
no, got back and pretty much decided to rest because we're starting early at 8 a.m. the next day.
Me and Gary might have played a game. I brought a little card game, and I bought the card game because it says you only need one pack to play, but it looks like booster packs. But the whole one game is in one booster size pack of game.
Hmm.
So it was interesting. Anyways, it was not bad. It was based off some Radiant Black comic book
I
or
know the
some
name.
the Massive Universe or something like that.
Hmm.
It was basically a sample pack of. I looked it up. There was actually like a bigger board game you could buy that had like 12 characters, and this was a sample pack that had two, so you could learn how to play it and try it before you committed to buying the other
First
thing.
one's free, kids.
Well, this wasn't free, but it was cheap. So
First one's cheaper, kids.
that's right.
But yeah,
Um, that's it, man.
yeah, that's it. And
I'm apologizing right now. I am so tired right
Well, we're going to take a break so Scott can rest, and then we'll come back
I
to talk
I'm
about
gonna go to
Amorical.
sleep, and we're gonna pick this up tomorrow when I'm fully rested.
I really doubt we do that. Be back in a
Yeah,
second.
we'll see you tomorrow. And we're back. Maybe a day later, but feel rested. Now we can talk about this with a lot of joy and full of energy, right, Steve?
It's the same day. It was like a minute ago.
We can fool the listeners, though. This is
Why? They don't care.
they might
Yeah.
somewhere Phil might be listening, going, "Man, they really did pause that for a night so Scott could go get some sleep."
That was
And he
really
does
nice of him.
sound he sounds well rested now. He's not faking it at all.
Well, that'll last
All
until you start yawning again.
right, which is coming up really soon.
Uh,
Um,
Jesus.
all right, Saturday. So, for some strange reason, when me and Gary checked into the hotel, the lady told him she's sorry about something being down, and here's two vouchers good for two people. Each voucher was good for two people for breakfast at the hotel.
You didn't tell us that. We could have free breakfast. Or
We
would you
did
do
have free
one for
breakfast.
each day?
We did one for each day.
Okay.
Um, so that morning we got up, we went downstairs, we went to the buffet, we ate the buffet. It was fine. Then I found out how much the buffet cost in real life, and I was like, "Oh boy, that's a not a $25 buffet." But either way, for whatever reason, we got free food, so we were happy. And then we met you guys up in the game room. Now, I will say, Friday night before Friday day, before we traveled out to look at other comic stores and come back and pick you up, we stopped by into the gaming room where there was the Second Sons tournament was going on, and then of course Sevens was about to kick off that night, and said hi to some people and stuff. But really, when we stopped by that morning, they were already full going at it, and I just didn't want to bug people while they're playing their games. So
Yeah. When I got in, I basically made the rounds, just said, hey, hi, 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 and then left.
right. So I don't even know how we want to cover this.
So, first off, round one, we had a total of 302 people, which is amazing.
Thought it was end up being 304.
304. You're right. My bad. 304. If I remember correctly, and I could be off, but I don't think I am, the first Amorical Cup was the first U.S. tournament to hit 100. Ottawa Amorical Cup was the first one to hit 200. Because I think Chaos Cup flirted with it but didn't get it, and then Amorical did. And now this Amorical Cup was the first one to get 300.
So you might remember more than I did, and I was listening to Zlurpcast, who also covered Amorical Cup. Is this the fourth Amorical Cup?
Depends on how you look at it. It is the fourth version of this event. So first one was in the North American Team Championship in Vegas.
Okay.
Then it got renamed to Amorical Cup and ran in Virginia. And then the
Okay.
second one was in Ottawa, and third one's in Detroit. So yes, it's the third Amorical Cup, but it's the fourth North American Team Championship. However you want to look at it.
Okay. I thought there was one, and that they also kind of speculated that,
Yeah.
but they were unsure. So, we knew our matches going into this.
Yep. We were playing the Brooklyn Blodgers.
So I don't know how you felt about this, and maybe you're used to it because you've been to team events before. You've been to the big giant World Cups of Blood Bowl. Do you like knowing who you're playing ahead of time?
I do. I like just a little fun gameplay. You look at it, you see how who they are, what their records are, what they're playing, how you might match up against them. We don't get to see the rosters. We just get to see the people in the race.
No, we got to see rosters.
We got to see the rosters. Apparently, I thought we didn't. No, we did. Yeah.
We did because I
Yeah,
knew
yeah.
Gary freaked out about like all the guard that was on that nobility
You're
jersey.
right. Totally forgot. My
So we
guy was
actually
just, yeah, chaos.
right. So yeah, I mean, it allowed Gary to practice against a team that he was facing. That's why I was just curious if this is normal though, right?
Yeah,
I mean, like
absolutely.
okay,
Yeah, and I don't see it changing. I mean, this is something that's just a added fun thing to get, a little trash talk or a little planning or whatever.
you think that's what it's for?
Yeah, just fun.
Okay. Now, have you ever seen a team that you're going to face and go, I need to play test against it?
No,
No.
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, should I? Probably. Do I? No. Should I also
Uh,
probably play better than I do? Yeah, but I don't. And then I get mad because I lose, and I'm like, ah. And then I'm also like, well, if you would just play correctly instead of doing stupid stuff. Well, yeah, but the
you're like,
stupid
I'm not
stuff is
doing
fun.
that. Should we talk about all our swag that we got?
Yeah, so
Do you remember it all? Because
not at
mine
all.
is packed up and at Drew's house in Texas.
We got a magnet, we got a sticker, we got a bag, we got the team, we got dice,
We got a field.
got a pitch, which is the main thing. I mean, that was awesome. And the Spice Quagmire looks awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to apologize to Woody at Squigmire, right? That's
Yeah,
his real name,
yeah.
right? Yeah, Woody.
Woodrow Arrington.
Right. I'd like to apologize to you because I really, you know, we worked with Jack from Maelstrom and we like his pitches a lot.
Hmm.
And many years ago, when Woody came upon the scene with Squigmire and he was doing pitches, his pitches look nice, but they don't have the information on there. And I was like,
And
well,
by
I want,
information, to be
I mean, like,
specific, passing template, kickoff
yeah.
table, pros and or whatever.
So this weekend, I was like, I was kind of, I was like, this field is nice. I really like it, but man, I don't like carrying this little side mouse pad around just to have the kickoff table and stuff.
Hmm.
And sadly, I didn't think beyond it besides being an annoyance. And somebody goes, you don't
That was
like
me.
that? And I was like, was it you?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I just don't like carrying this around. And I just feel, I don't know why it's on the mat. And then I guess it was you that said, well, when the rules change, all you have to do is buy a new mouse pad, a little baby mouse pad, if that stuff's important to you.
Hmm.
And I thought, oh, that's actually really genius because how many fields do we still use at Oklahoma Bowl because we own them
Yeah.
that we say, just remember, check check the kickoff table. It's not, these are older fields, so they're no longer, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So I owe you an apology, Woody. Not that I've went around and told everybody don't buy from this guy because he's terrible because he won't put the stats on there. I've never done that. I have said I like going through Jack, and Woody solved the problem of when data changes and charts change. So that's actually a really smart, clever idea that I was too foolish to even recognize. So I'm sorry.
My problem is I don't want to carry that with me, but also the solution to that is I just don't. Like, it's not needed. It's just extra.
No, you're
So,
right. It's really not needed. As long as you have your book, you're good to go either
yeah,
way. But no, I agree. I'm just saying
I gotcha.
in the past privately to like you or Gary, I've been like, I don't like having that extra thing. I don't know why it can't be on here. Now I get it. Now I get it. You were ahead of your time. I'm the fool. I still do like having it on the field, but you're right. I don't want to upgrade 10 fields that I have to have that stuff. So
No, definitely not.
much easier to, if I care enough, to take the little mouse pad and, as JP said over on Slurpcast, and once the rules change, you just use that as your mouse pad for your computer.
Hmm.
So really nice field though. All the stuff was out there. I haven't really even got to look at the team because once again I handed my stuff off to Drew, and I'll explain
Yeah.
all that later. But
There's a
looked like
ton of
it.
stuff for raffle, too, which is awesome.
There was a lot of cool stuff for raffle, like sketches from Pedro.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for the life of
Woody
me, I
put
can't.
out Pedro Ramos.
Pedro Ramos, yeah, right.
Woody put out a one of each of his pitches, and I ended up winning one of those, so that was cool.
Did you really?
Yep.
I didn't know you won anything.
Yeah, I won a pitch.
I know they just didn't do the big old like Steve, come up
No,
here,
thank God.
which is great that they did, and we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But there was so much stuff there that I was a little overwhelmed. And by stuff, I mean like really cool stuff. There was some really amazing painted teams there. Not just one, there was multiple.
Right.
But it had that Chaos Cup feel, where Chaos Cup has a lot of stuff too. So,
All right. Let's get into
um,
this. So we did play the Brooklyn Blodgers. Um,
Blodgers. Oh, it was
yeah.
the Brooklyn Blodgers.
And I ultimately you can go to bbtm.app to check if you want to know everything. So we're not going to go over Gary and Craig's too much, other than just to announce it at the end of the
Right.
round. But I'll go first. So I played a guy, the Blackhearts. It was a chaos team. He had Max Spleen Ripper, which I probably should have paid attention to, but I received changing weather, no big deal. I see him. I see a chainsaw guy in the pitch, which I didn't think he would put him on the pitch if I was receiving, but he did. So I did everything I could to hit him. And I got to him, and I did a one die block and got a push, and re-rolled and got a push. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to stay on him because I don't get chainsawed. Yeah, I totally forgot about his star player ability, which allows him to chainsaw two people at a time, once per game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did that to me. He casualtied one guy, and I think just stunned the other one. It wasn't great.
So is that two kickback rolls or one kickback roll to
Two kickbacks.
chainsaw?
Yeah.
Two
No, he
kickbacks.
never
Okay.
failed those. Definitely no reason. Second turn, I tried again to do a one die with a lineman. Ended up just casualting myself. Then go back and forth. I'm not going to get too much. It wasn't too much to say. The main thing is, end of the first half, I'm up 1-0. And he scores turn 4, having to use a reroll on a tripwire, which sucks, but he got it. So then I receive. I got my guy downfield, but I'm very low on people. At the end, he had 5 casualties on me, and that's not including knockouts, which was a lot. So, not much I can do. I just run a guy down the pitch. He's got the ball, hoping that he can survive a hit. He's got Blodge. Well, he blitzes the wrong guy. And even he has no idea why. He just blitzed a different guy. Totally forgot about my ball carrier. So then I
Wow.
know. And I wasn't going to tell him. He declared a blitz, and I'm like, okay. And then he hit that guy, and I'm like, okay. So then he ends up putting a reverse cage on me. So I'm in the middle with 4 of his guys at all the corners. And it's like, well, if you want to score, you're going to have to go through them. I got a 5, I got a 4, and I got a 3, and I got a touchdown. So I ended up winning 2-1, and he had 5 casualties to my 0.
Nice.
It was nice, but man, I didn't deserve the win.
I did not know that's how your game played out.
Yeah.
And other games, Gary lost 1-0 to that team he was worried about. Gary was playing OWA. He played against a Necro team.
Yeah.
1-0. He had Gary had 2 casualties to the guy's 0. Craig, since I was sitting next to Craig, I was watching that. Craig had a 1-turn touchdown guy, and he got the kickoff. And the other guy set up his dwarf
Death
doom
roller.
roller,
Yeah.
death roller, and Craig scored the first turn, and that guy tried to use his bribe, and it was gone.
And we were looking at his team and like, I don't get it. It doesn't make a lot of sense. The Doom Roller's not that, or Death Roller's not that great, especially now. And he had one bribe, and apparently he failed the bribe as well. So
Right. That's what
he's gone. And then it's like, well, obviously you're going to be able to beat this guy because you have the agility, and dwarves are not as good as they used to be.
no. He
No.
went on to beat the hell out of Craig,
Yeah.
and all I know is it went from I think Craig was up 2-0, and then Craig held on to get a 2-2 tie.
Yeah, I think he was up 2-0 by the third turn or something.
It was something ridiculous like that, and then that guy just was like, "Okay, I'm never gonna let you touch the ball again," and just beat the hell out of your guys, and that's what happened.
Insane.
Um, I played a gentleman by the username D Schiller, the Brooklyn Beefcakes. It was a team, Chaos Pact or Chaos Renegades team, however you want to look at it. Had the three big guys, the Dark Elf guy, all that stuff. I don't remember a ton of this game. Matter of fact, I can remember very little. I think I got the kickoff. I think, if I remember correctly, I went down and scored. I then played defense the whole second half. I knocked the ball loose a few times for sure, but by the end of it, he ended up scoring, and I think I tried to throw a snotling, and of course, it didn't work. So, as a team, we had two draws, a win from you, and a loss from Gary. So we tied our very first matchup.
Yeah, not going to complain. Would rather have a win, but that's what you'll find from most of this is we are one die away from a win or a loss or a tie. Like, you know how Blood Bowl is. Everything comes down to one or two dice rolls.
Oh yeah, for sure this
For
weekend.
for
So
everybody. I mean, like I said, my opponent blitzed the wrong guy. There's no guarantee he would have knocked me down, but he had a shot, and
right,
you just never know.
yeah, I bet he was kicking himself on that one.
Yeah, I feel sorry. And I'm like, and again, I didn't have time to even tell him that, why are you blitzing him? And I probably wouldn't. But, you know,
Round two, we played the Manitoba Walleyes. These were the guys who were excited to see some podcast hosts, or
yeah,
at least one of them was. One of them was really excited to see us. He goes,
yeah,
"So weird to see the voices and the people, and all hear the voices and then see the people and all this stuff."
yeah.
So
Eric, the one I played, he was very excited and was like, we've been there. We understand. We were that same way the first time we went to the Chaos Cup.
yeah, we did that to Zerpcast, so we totally get it. Steve, you moved up to the captain spot. You were the
I
top
did.
table, yeah,
Yeah,
amongst our group at least.
right. And I played against Eric's Underworld Creepers. It was a raining game, which didn't help. But I received, and he ends up getting solid defense. I was able to knock down his Rat Ogre, but didn't break armor. My Ogre boneheaded turn two, which there were a couple of times in this tournament where my Ogre cost me, where I should not have used him when I did, and that's my bad. So he went bonehead because I was trying to put him in a good position to keep him from being able to come through my line. And that left lanes open for him to just come through my line and hit the ball carrier. Ends up stunning my thrower. And the ball goes into two tackle zones, and it's raining. My next turn, I am able to get him off the ball. I was able to pick it up using pro. Then he wrestles me down and gets the ball. And at that point, I've only got one chance to stop him from scoring. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, there's no way for me to get to him. And then I realize that one of my guys is down. I'll just leap over my guy, which will give me enough movement to be right next to him, and I can hit him. And of course, I failed that, but at least I tried. And he ends up scoring turn five. I get the ball going downfield, and I score quickly. He does casually a blitzer, which, my God, those guys are MVPs. If I have both of them, life is good, and if I lose one, life is bad.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ended the half 1-1. I kick to him, and of course, forget changing weather, so it goes nice. In addition to that, it goes out of bounds. On turn three, I was able to get two hits on his ball carrier. His ball carrier is a frickin' gutter runner with blocks, so I don't knock him down. He goes to the sidelines. He's right on the sideline. He's got a guy in front of him, guy behind him, like a half cage, however you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing I can do is dodge in and try to push him out of bounds. I got a blitzer. I've got dodge and pro. Why not? Didn't expect to make it, and I made it. And I did.
You always make that. That's why I hate that
I
move
know.
when I play you. It's because it's like, well, he's not going to do it, and
It's
then
a
you
one
always.
in six. As much as you worry about, failing a dodge with an elf, it can happen.
No, I know.
So I do get in, and I do a 2 die uphill, and I got a skull. And I completely fucking forgot to use pro. Now, I,
Wow.
again, could have failed pro, could have re rolled another skull, could have got it both down. Even both down would be fine, sort of. But yeah, so I fell down. I couldn't stop him. And then I lose 2-1. He scored on his turn 8. All I had to do was stop him just a little bit, and I just screwed it up. He had 2-1 on me on casualties as well.
So Steve was on top table. We'll get to my matchup. I was on second table, or however you want to look at that. On the next table over, Craig was playing against another Skaven team. And this one went the favor of the other Skaven team. Craig lost 2-1, got out casualtied. Gary was against, looks like an orc team, maybe, based off that symbol. I'm not 100% sure. Or it's a black orc team.
I'm not on it right now. I couldn't tell you.
I'm looking at, yeah, it's he played an orc team. They tied 1-1. Gary got out casualtied. And then I played a dwarf team. Sadly, I I don't remember much at all at this of this game. I don't even know if I got. I think I received the ball, and he stopped me because I thought I was. Yeah, that's exactly right. Actually, I had the ball. He was playing really good defense, though. I was having not so great luck at all with my trolls and the pump wagons, and this is going to be a theme all week, all weekend. It's not uncanny for me to roll 4 ones in a row, activating these big guys. It's it's part of almost every game, and doing 3 of them feels better than losing 4 of them.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's just something that comes along playing these teams, and it can happen. Um, Long story short, I believe he scored first, and then I believe he got the ball from me. He scored, and then I was kicking off to him. So in my head, it's like, well, on paper, this should be a 2-0 loss because he's going to grind it out, and I'm going to have to try some crazy crap, and it's either going to work or it's not, and then most likely he's just going to run on in. Now, I only have a Snotling team with a leader reroll, a regular reroll, and then a mascot. So kind of 2.5 rerolls, not much give there. At some point, I think I have to go stab his dwarf runner with Skitter, and it works. Ball bounces loose, everything. We're feeling pretty good. Then he starts pounding me again, and he decides to go pick up the ball with what's the new thing?
Secure the ball.
Secure the ball action. And he rolls a 1. And if I remember correctly, he re-rolls it and rolls a 1.
Jeez.
Now, early in the game, at one point, he picked up the ball and he rolled 2 dice to pick up the ball. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "What? Hey, what's going on here?" And he's like, "I said, why are you rolling 2 dice?" He goes, "Oh, I have sure hands. It's not a big deal. Same thing." And I was like, "It might be the same thing statistically, but I'd like you to play it where we roll out each one." And he was like, "Yeah, no problem. I don't understand." And I was like, "Well, I do because if my life was on the line and you made me roll don't roll 2 ones in a row, I'd be really scared, more scared than if you said, here's 2 dice, roll them at one time. As long as you don't get snake eyes, you live." So, anyways, which became a theme that actually bit me back because I failed so many go for it's or just like activations where I had to like needed them in certain times where I was too scared to even do the reroll because it just bit me so often. I was like, and this is why we roll them one at a time, because you start getting in your own head about like it doesn't matter if I re-roll this, it's still going to be a one, and that happened quite a bit. His guy failing that secure the ball action allowed Skidder to go pick up the ball in a zone, run off in the opposite direction, and it led to a touchdown, and I ended this game with a 1-1 tie. So as a team, we had what, two ties. Craig lost, you lost, so we lost this one as a team.
Yeah, there was no coming back from that one.
No.
And it's funny because my game against Eric, he kept going, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. Like, because my dice were not going great and his were going well. I'm just like, you can stop saying that. We're good. I appreciate it, but I just don't want to hear it.
Right.
However, I do believe we got a photo with these guys. Is this the one we got a photo with?
We went out in the hall and took a photo with somebody, so
I think it was
probably.
them. If that was you, please send us that photo because we do not have one of us as a squad because we're not really good at being squads yet.
No, we were actually pretty. I mean, we had little gifts for people. We gave
Yeah,
people like our own little special dice and some stickers and stuff like that, and everybody seemed to really like those.
sure.
Almost everybody we played gave us something back.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's nice to see that.
Uh, so yeah, that was a. I guess that's just a themey thing at these squad events.
Mm-hmm. At the bigger events, the squad events, you tend to have stuff to give to your opponents.
Then we had lunch.
I
I
had
don't.
Taco Bell, and you guys walked over to McDonald's because Taco Bell was too busy.
Oh, I didn't. That means Gary must have brought me food back because I don't remember walking to McDonald's.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I
This
went.
trip, I might have had the most not the worst memory ever on some of this trip.
Well, when you're high half the time, it kind of does that.
I, I was not that day playing games, sir. Um,
So round three, we go up against the Buckeye Bone Grinders. I'm going
was
up
that?
against
Oh,
Emilio. What?
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Buckeye grinders.
Yep. I go up against Emilio's Inc. They're humans, and he's got Zug. So he receives the kickoff. He got coaches. Nobody wins it, so that's fine. He picked up the ball, caged, went down the pitch. I hit his ball carrier on turn two, knocked him down, but the ball goes right to his guy and he gets a six. So I eventually am able to take him down, but then the ball goes by two of his people and his ogre. Luckily, his ogre ends up doing a both down, and my guy stays standing. He fails go for it two times and uses his yeah, this is the one that pisses me off. So I this will never happen again, I'm sure. I'm going to get the ball. I don't pick it up. Well, he goes, and I think he was just trying to blitz me to push me off the ball or something. But he had to go for it two times, and he had one reroll left. He failed the first go for it, used the reroll, got it back with team captain, and passed the roll. Failed the second go for it, did a reroll, and got it back again with team captain, and succeeded. And I'm just like, no, that's not the way this is supposed to work. Two times in one turn with the same reroll. Like, ugh.
Wow, that hurts.
Yeah. So I am able to get the ball, though, and I scored turn six. He has two turns left. I figure he's going to slow roll it because he doesn't want to give me extra time. No, he just goes for a one turn touchdown and gets it. And he's like, that's the first time that's ever worked. Oh, thanks.
Don't you like popping them cherries, Steve?
Uh, the sad thing is, I was able to score in two turns because I was able to do a long bomb. I caught the ball in a tackle zone, did a dodge, did a go for it, failed, used pro, and got the touchdown. So I'm up 2-1 at half. I receive second half. I figure I'm in a good position. No, um, I can't pick up the ball the second half. There are so I pick up the ball turn one. He pals me. I go down. Turn two, can't pick up the ball. Turn three, can't pick up the ball. Turn four, can't pick up the ball. He scores on turn five. And I'm like, that was ridiculous. But I'm still up. Well, I'm still tied at least. So I receive, and again, I cannot pick up the ball. So it ends up going to a bad spot. He gets his catcher down there. He gets it. He gets out of range of me. I can't stop him, and he scores. I lost 3-2, and like I was up at half, and I learned here, and there's some other instances where I should have taken sure hands instead of leader on the thrower.
Because that reroll would have saved you more than the other reroll.
Oh yeah, because this was the main one, but there's another couple of places where it really could have come in handy. And
I mean, did you face any strip ball people?
no,
Because
I thought I
okay,
would because it was so much Skaven. There were so many Skaven that there was an extra reward for whoever killed the most Skaven.
right.
And I figured we would see a ton of Skaven based on how they were done. So I'm like, yeah, you know, but I didn't think it mattered that much, but it didn't. So whatever. Um, just is what it is. Sometimes you just can't do something. But I was so annoyed at that.
So we lost that matchup. In other matches, Gary played a Black Orc team. He won 3-2. Craig played Beefhammer, who I guess is the new like Doombeard Dave. Like he's the guy who goes for casualties
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. Because I've now heard Beefhammer mentioned a few times. So Beefhammer had a orc team, and I'm assuming, not knowing for sure, although he won 2 games, so maybe he was trying his best, but still casualties first, but wins second. But
Yeah.
probably doesn't sound like he was totally like forgetting the ball. Um, he although he lost 6-0, so and he only got 4 casualties against Craig. So
Hmm.
official casualties. He got 6 rat kills, unless those aren't. Yeah, those are. I don't. I don't know
Those
how
came
to.
from anything. So fouls, out of bounds.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, that explains that. So Craig won, Gary won, you lost. Now I have to try to do something here. Definitely don't want to lose. Not that I knew that at the time. I play a guy, really nice guy. I remember what he looks like. His username was Nerf, I guess Nerf underscored 0 or O. I think it's a O, maybe. Maybe it's 0. I don't know. Nerf 0 versus my Stontlings. It was an Amazon team. Once again, I don't. Usually, I'm pretty good at remembering like things and matches and stuff. I know I went up 1-0. He got the ball back. I think. I think what the case was is I forced him to. It was like he could waste some time or just score and give me a chance to hit him and stuff. And he went and scored. I got the ball back with like 3 plays left, and luckily I had Skitter and I had enough people that I could do some magic and work the field right. Now Skitter, up to this point, even this game, what he liked to do is go pick up the ball in his very first turn if I got the kickoff and roll a 1. And I didn't have the re-rolls to the luxury of saying I'll try to re-roll that because I just couldn't
Yeah.
because he has loner. So 2+ normally every game up to this point he rolled a 1. So that was no different.
It's
But
almost
anyways,
like picking up the ball is important.
right. Um, I ended up winning this game 2-1. I do know that. I don't remember much else. He had 5 casualties against my 2. I was not getting casualties at all this whole tournament. It's just couldn't do what I at
No.
least thought some mayhem I would do. It just didn't work. Off to round 4, we play against Quad Skulls.
Yep.
Um, I, for some reason, move up to the team captain spot or the number one table. And I'll go over my matchup really quick, and then I'll
Oh,
go
by that
over.
time you didn't have a loss. You had to win in two ties.
Oh, maybe that was it.
I mean, that is
So
it. So,
I played a guy that I've heard of for years, but never got to play him. Wigwam. I noticed the name right away, like, oh, from all the podcasts and stuff from up north. So I got to play Wigwam. He had a Nurgle team, which is a terrible matchup for me. This game, I fought and I fought and I fought. Skitter must have dropped the ball. I think there was 3 turns in a row where he dropped the ball when I got the opening kickoff. It was 0-0 at halftime. This was the game where I had at least 2 turns where all 4 big guys rolled ones, and I bet you I had every bit of 6 other turns where 3 of the 4 went stupid as well. It was just an awful, awful dice game, and I was doing everything I could. In the end, he goes up. My only chance is a 1 turn throw. I have all my rerolls because I'm saving them for this moment.
yeah.
And of course, like, go pick up the ball to hand off. I need to re-roll it because I roll a 1 with Skitter. And then, like, luckily the loner works. And then I get the re-roll. Then I go up to hand it off. And then the guy's like, I think I'd like to eat this guy. And I'm like, no. And then still I get the throw off and then he can't land. So, anyways, it was just what it was. I ended up my first day 1 win, 1 loss, and 2 ties. Gary, let's see here. Craig played Siggy Llama.
Which is awesome. It's always nice to see him.
Looks like Siggy had a Chaos Renegade roster. Craig ended up winning this tight matchup 1-0. Gary played. Let's see. Well, we'll get to you in a second. Where's Gary at here? Gary played a Slan team. Gary likes Slan, and he likes to play Slan. He doesn't like playing against them because they potentially have a lot of like options to move around easy and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But Gary held off. I thought at one point he was losing or for sure was tied. I don't remember how this went, but he ended up winning 2-0. So maybe he scored like turn 8 on the second half. So it was really like a 1-0 game type deal. And then you, my sir, you're on the bottom table and you're playing Madam Phoenix and the Valkyries, a Norse team.
Norska Soda Valkyries. And so we set up.
That's a pretty good like kind of fluffy but Minnesota-ish
Right.
type
Yeah.
name that fits in the Blood Bowl universe. I like that. Both down and proof.
Which is rare for Scott to find one he likes. So I receive, and I immediately casualty a lineman, and I score in turn 2. So I'm like, oh, things are going well for me. We're going back and forth. She ends up casualtying and KOing me a lot. Like, she's tearing through me, which was just a common theme throughout the whole tournament. I do end up casualtying a beer boar, so I guess that was nice. Um, to,
Glad you could. I'm glad you could beat up a guinea pig.
I know, exactly. Ball goes in a scrum. Then turn 8, I fail a dodge with the blitzer to just secure the ball. She's able to get it. She throws the ball, catches it, and goes in with a touchdown. And I forget Valkyries are really, really good. So
Yes, they're solid players.
they are 1 to 1.5. She receives. First turn, she KOs a thrower and a lineman. I was able to knock down the ball carrier, but next turn she casualties a blitzer and a casualties a guard bodyguard. Just again, so bad. I still end up knocking her down the ball carrier, and it goes to a lineman in 2 tackle zones, and she gets a 6. It takes her until turn 6 to score, gives me a little bit of time to come back. I get some good rolls. I get the ball to a blitzer. I score turn 8. Ends up being a tie 2-2. She had 4-2 on casualties. And this was not a proud moment for Steve because Steve was getting super duper frustrated with all of his performance this whole day and the way the dice rolls are going and just everything. And so I think at the beginning of the second half, she gets pros and Nuffle on the kickoff
I,
table.
I, I'm I'm proud of you for talking about this because I
Of
was
course,
not going to.
of course. Um, so she gets pros and Nuffle on the kickoff table, and I we roll. She gets greased cleats, goes on one of my guys, whatever, no big deal. And then second kickoff, she again gets the pros and Nuffle, and I'm looking for something, and can't remember what it was. Maybe it was a band, I think. And Craig's like, because Craig's right next to me, he's like, "What are you looking for?" I'm like, "I think this was the grease cleats." I'm like, "I need to get the token to put grease cleats on this guy so I don't forget." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "She rolled pros and Nuffle. I need to get the fucking grease cleats so I can mark it. Like, what aren't you getting?" He's like, "That doesn't make any sense." He's like, "Did she have an inducement?" I'm like, "God damn it, Craig! I know how to play the fucking game. Just let me find this goddamn thing." He goes, "That's not what that is anymore. It's the what the assist thing. You get an assist on your next.
The cheering.
Yeah, cheering fans change to you get an assist." And I'm like, "Well, apparently I don't know how to play the fucking game. I'm sorry." Um,
Oh, you. This was a conversation between you and Craig.
yeah,
Oh, I thought this was between you and the player, and I couldn't
no,
believe
no,
you. You went. I know how to play the fucking game because
no. I said it to Craig.
all I did is I heard that, and I looked down there, and I looked across to Wigwam, and we were just kind of like smiled and looked back down,
Ah,
and I was like, and they say I'm the hothead of the group.
I fully own to it. I cracked. Like it was just shit. Like I said, after the previous game, I couldn't pick up the ball, and this just everything. Such a shitty day. And like I said, I apologize to Craig. Um, what's really stupid is they got it in their game earlier, and I have a very specific card that I bring with me to remind you that you have that, and I gave it to them. So I already knew that this was what it was, and just straight up forgot. So again, I apologized. I apologized to her. She's very sweet about it. She didn't. She's like, "It happens. I've played the game long enough. I know how it goes." Apparently, she's played like 13 years or something, mainly in leagues. Um, but she fully understood, and that's very rare for me to blow up like that. So I was just like shaking and on the verge of tears, like, can't put the genie back in the bottle. Um, but yeah, that was not a proud moment.
Ah, Steve lost control.
It happens every once in a while.
I should have handed you a Snickers and said, like, eat a Snickers,
I would
bitch.
have taken it. I would have taken it.
um, the good news is Steve got the tie. We ended up winning the match
Yeah.
in general, so that was good for our overall standings, and that ended day one. At up to this point, I'd like to say this: I've never played a team event with more than one person. I played
Hmm.
like these little, oh, you're on a team with your buddy
Yes, you
and stuff
have.
like that. Oh,
Chimera Cup.
Chimera Cup. You're right.
But
Maybe,
still, that wasn't the
maybe,
same.
maybe not to this level because I don't remember
Definitely not.
at Chimera Cup. I do not remember sitting by all my teammates at a table
No, I think
because
that
I don't
was,
think. I think we spread out. We just played wherever, but we were on a
yeah,
team.
whole
So,
different thing.
so number one, the event ran up to this point super smooth.
Oh, yeah.
Super smooth. You would not have if there was 100 guys there and it ran this smooth. You'd be giving Sean Callie accolades, him and his crew, because it was so ran. There was 300 people there, and it was really ran really well.
Ton of credit to
Uh,
Sean, but also to Cowley, Sean Cowley, but also a ton of credit to Sean Huberman for BBTM because
yes,
makes everything so much easier.
correct. The software that the tournament was run with that helped a lot. I mean, it just was going super smooth. So at this point, we ended the day. What is this? A win, a loss, and two ties.
2 wins, a loss, and a tie.
Okay, two
We
wins, a
were
loss.
doing well.
So we were hopeful. So, from my perspective, while I took Snotlings and they're not supposed to be great, um, constantly through the tournament, I'm talking to Tim Lyons. Tim Lyons, if you don't listen or do listen, he is on Three Dot Block. He was part of the Three Dot Block podcast team. And me and
And
Tim
World Cup
talk
report.
World Cup report with Steve. I forgot about that. Me and Tim talk a ton of Blood Bowl. When we like, hey, I'm going to take this team. Have you ran them lately? Or he'll go, hey, could you look this team over and tell me what you think? We bounce stuff all over each other. We talked about Snotlings for months before the rosters were due.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Tim's roster was exactly the same. Exactly the same. And he keeps coming to me and it's like, hey, how'd you do? And I tell him, and I was the first guy to fall. So I was kind of like a little bit down because I took a loss. But then the magical thing about this team event, one, you're sitting by your three other friends. You're constantly sitting by people you know. So it's not like the worst event in the world where maybe I'm on the other side of the room and don't know anybody and I'm going through frustrations because I can get up, I can stand up and I can look over and, Gary will be like, it'll be okay. Just relax. You got a second half, stuff like that. What I'm trying to say is I really enjoyed the team event. I really enjoyed the big team event because even when I lost, this is round 4, playing Snotlings, I take my first loss. The first loss always sucks, I think. I always say the first one's the hardest one because that diminishes any hopes at all for having an undefeated weekend.
Oh yeah.
So I was really down on myself for losing that game to Nurgle and all that stuff. But then I was like, oh, what? Yeah, I won. He won. I tied. We won as a team. So there was always a silver lining to this, and it made me feel good that like the one time I fall down and or don't win, everybody else picked me up,
Yeah.
and the team as a whole won. So it was kind of a cool and different experience. Gary was also felt the same way. Matter of fact, Gary has said multiple times since we've even returned that might have been the funnest tournament he's ever been to for that whole aspect. He's a little bit more antisocial than he's not, but he acts like he is because he says everybody knows you and they don't know who I am and all this stuff, but they do. But he was like, it was just really nice that I get to go on this like vacation trip and I get to still hang out with you the whole time as we're going through stuff.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot different than just going like Chaos Cup. We just get broken up and you see each other at lunch and dinner.
right, you run through each other as you're passing each other, go to the bathroom, and you're going like, "Hey, how'd you do? Oh, I just lost, or I'm still in my match, and well, good luck. I'll see you later, and all that stuff." Right. So, anyways, really ran well. It was really cool. It ran smooth, and now it's time to go to dinner. So, me and Gary were like, we would like to take a shower really quick before we go off to eat. And the plan is what was it, Buddy's
Buddy's
Pizza?
Pizza. Yep.
Which is supposed to be a really good pizza place in that
It's the
area.
originator of the Detroit style pizza. We went to a chain version of it, which is, I guess, whatever. But we
Okay.
went with Three Die Block Guys and Siggy Llama. So
And
that
then
was
there
cool.
was other crew there, or did
Yeah.
we just happen to see them? Was that just by pure
Yeah, it's
coincidence?
pure coincidence.
Oh, okay. There was another crew of dudes there also hanging out, eating, and stuff like that when we got there. We went to go shower. Now I'm in the middle of my shower, and the lights keep flickering on and off. And then finally I was like, Gary, you messing with me? And he's like, no, the power keeps going out. And then all of a sudden we hear a boom. And Gary goes, I think something's on fire. Well, it wasn't on fire. It was the generator kicked on. We did lose power in our building, which really sucked. Um, we were on the 6th floor.
Yeah.
TV wasn't working, etc. So we finished our showers and said, I hope all this works out.
Yeah, luckily Craig and I got pushed to the 4th floor instead of the 6th. So that was
Whew,
nice.
I would have. I wonder how my life would have been if I would have been on the 4th floor versus the 6th. Um, Anyways, we went out. We had some delicious pizza. Me and
Yeah.
Drew shared a pizza. Everybody had a great time. We got to cut up, hang out with everybody, tell tales of Blood Bowl, and of course other things, like always. And then Siggy Lama drove us there, because he had a car and stuff. And then what did we hit? We stopped and got some ice cream, I
At
believe, on the way
Culver's.
back.
Yep.
Yeah, we hit Culver's. We thought we'd waste some more time, and we get back, and yeah, there's nothing. Nothing's really changed. I mean,
So,
power's back on, but not.
right. It's not back on. The generator's still going. Certain things are running. Prior to the continuation of that, Craig did not go to dinner with us. There's a reason for that. Because somebody hit the car that was next to Craig's and pushed it into his car.
Yeah,
So,
I guess there was a big pileup of cars.
it's just two. But, so he had to stay back and wait for the tow truck to pull the other car off so that he could see if his rental car is fine, take photos and stuff. So we come back about 10 o'clock, I think, and I go, Craig's outside, so I go to say hi. Oh, yeah, by the way, remember on the way back from dinner, we saw something on the road that was on fire with the
Oh yeah, we go by and there's like a transformer box or something like something electrical, and it
yeah,
is flaming
straight up on
on fire,
fire.
straight up on fire. We're like, well, maybe that's the problem, and I bet you nothing is fixed yet. So we're already like really worried, like, oh hell, it's gonna be hot.
Exactly. So I hang out with Craig. I go see what's going on there, and the tow truck finally is there, pulls the other car off. Not too much on his, but he takes photos. He's already called it into the insurance company and everything. Then we walk around the parking lot because we were told that the person who hit was still there. And we end up finding the vehicle and get photos of the vehicle and the VIN and all that. And then we walk back to the front, and by the front, the police guy was there. Now, this had happened previously in the day, and he already got all the reports and stuff. And I guess he talked to the guy and found his information, so that wasn't a big deal. But that sucked for Craig because he didn't get to go out with us to do anything. But what was worse, as we're walking in, we pass Arthur McClelland, Kid Rock, and great guy. He's in Colorado, goes to the World Cup all the time, goes to a lot of big tournaments. He is mobility challenged, so he has a wheelchair. Now he can walk a little bit. It's just not advisable to walk much. Again, the power is out, the elevator's out, and like, well, what are they going to do for you? Because there's no rooms on the first floor apparently. He's like, I don't know, and come to find out, he's slept in the lobby, and that's not cool. I don't know. I don't have the full version of the story, so maybe something else came of that, but definitely not cool. And it's not like you could just go across the street to the other hotel. They also didn't have power.
Right, there was quite a few things you could see that did or didn't have power from
Yeah.
where we were. But that I think that wrapped up everything. We ended
Well,
up.
power came back on at 2 in the morning because it was stuffy in the room and did not sleep well
You're
until
right,
2.
because I slept on top of the sheets, and all of a sudden, I felt like I was in Antarctica, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh my god!" But I knew that meant the power was on, and I was like, "Oh, everything's gonna be fixed.
No.
Everything's gonna be fixed."
For the
Um,
most part. And we were worried about the next day. It's like, well, is the event even going to happen? Because we heard about, we knew from you that this happened. And we heard, well, they may not get power back. Okay, well, do we have a tournament tomorrow? What
yeah,
happens if we don't?
I was really worried for Sean because he did so much. He was going through a lot of stuff personally
Oh,
that
yeah.
I didn't even recognize until it was mentioned. I mean, like, I'll give him his attaboys
Yeah, nothing we need to
once
get
we're
into,
done.
but his own personal stuff was very, well, annoying, bad, horrible, taking
I'm
up too
just
much of his time. So,
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it here in a little bit. Let's take a little break. We'll come back with Sunday.
so Sunday rolls around. We walk downstairs because, we still don't have any elevators. So that's fun.
No, it sucked. I told Gary, I remember leaving the hotel room. I'm like, oh no. And I was like, let's look around. I like did a double and triple check because I was like, I don't want to walk 6 floors back up here if I forgot like my dice case or this
Hmm.
or that. So yeah, we checked around, and made sure that we made the journey downstairs. We had breakfast once again at the hotel, and then we met you gentlemen at our tables.
And luckily, we had power. Matchups did not get posted as quickly as we would have liked because Sean did not have Wi Fi because the hotel was messing up. I think he said he went to McDonald's or something somewhere to get that done.
Oh, is
I
that
don't
what he had
remember.
to do? Okay.
I didn't. So Sean's a great guy. I would love to talk to him and talk to him, talk to him. I have no issue with that. But I also know there's 300 people there, so I was trying not to bug him too much.
I was too. That's why Friday morning, when we went in there just to say hi before running around the comic store, I went and tried to talk to him then
Hmm.
because I knew like his time is going to be occupied elsewhere after that. So,
Yeah. But yeah, we got to our tables and we saw some familiar faces.
did we? Oh
The
yeah,
gunslingers.
this is the Gunslingers. This is a crew made up half of two of the Oklahoma guys from Lawton, Mark Miner and Mark Berg, and then it was Lucas down there from
Matthew Farley.
Texas, Matthew Farley, and Corey Avon. So we've played against these guys all the time.
A lot.
I mean, maybe Craig hadn't, but we have. So Craig moved up to the captain spot or the top table amongst our group. He teed off against Corey. Corey's a really good player. From results, I haven't played Corey in probably a couple years now. But from all the results I keep seeing from tournaments that I don't go to, Corey's always in the top. So like he's a solid player. Craig lost 2-1 in that matchup. Gary played against Mark Berg. Gary was playing against another Necro team full of guard. He was worried about that. This one ended up being a 2-1 win for Gary. So now it comes down to me and Steve, right?
Yep.
I play Mark Miner. He plays. He has a Black Orc team. This would probably be the only time I would tell you my dice were better than somebody else's dice all tournament. We always do that saying of you need a good little bit of good luck. You need your opponent to have some bad luck to win games with not like a stunty type team most of the
Yeah.
time. I felt for the first day, I thought I was more on the side of not even average rolls. I legit felt like my tournament was like, I'm not getting what I need. And sometimes that happens at tournaments, right? Mark's, he said he was having a bad luck tournament too. And he got 5 casualties on me, but when it mattered to like pick up the ball or do anything with the ball, he just didn't have it. Or to tackle the ball carrier, it just wasn't happening. It would he re-roll and get the same thing. Um, this is a game I won 1-0. But I was glad to take the win. But yeah, he had really bad luck. And then you played
Played
Matthew
Matthew
Farley.
Farley with his Chaos, so my second Chaos team to go up against the Filthy Animals. I end up receiving most of the games I received, which is nice because I like to. He ends up getting another reroll, which I will say I do not like going to these tournaments where every team has everything they need and then some. This is a Chaos team with 4 rerolls and um, 2 bench. Like that, it's hard to stop them.
And assistant coaches
Yeah,
and cheerleaders.
it's just like you have everything you need and then some.
Yeah,
So
they had 2 bench guys. Yeah.
that's the worst because then you just can't get up on them, which I isn't my game plan, but still. Um, I failed to catch turn 2, and the ball goes to the sideline, but I was able to pick it up on turn 3, went for it a couple times, got a touchdown, so I scored quick. He gets another coaching, and he wins it because of the staff, and now he has 6 rerolls.
That's pretty good.
And he casualties a lineman with an ogre. Then he casualties my frenzy bodyguard on turn 5. I was able to get the ball carrier down, goes into a big scrum, and then the same guy I have fails dodge 3 times in the same turn.
What?
Failed,
How? Okay.
so he fails a dodge. I re-roll it. I fail a dodge. I re-roll it, and these are different dodges. So I use the dodge skill and two re-rolls to on this because I needed to get to the ball to stop him. I don't. And then our ogres end up both downing, and he KOs. I KO him, but he ends up casualing me. I'm like, well, dang it.
Ooh.
So again, I got to try to stop him from scoring on turn 8. I go to dodge, and I failed 2 times with the same guy again. And he has the dodge skill. I just can't dodge into empty squares. So he scores on turn 8. We're tied 1-1. Second half, he gets his ogre back, and he gets a quick snap. I end up getting a guy on ball turn 1, which was nice. But then he ends up casualing a lineman, dodges, picks up the ball in a tackle zone, and dodges away. Um, okay. Turn 6, I block his ball carrier. I had to go for it 2 times. Then I go for it 2 times to pick up the ball with the thrower. I pass, use pass. I catch in 2 tackle zones. I make it. And then I fail the dodge into fucking open square again. Like, 2 go for it's, pick up, pass, pass, catch in 2 tackle zones, fail an easy dodge. Then he gets the ball, runs away. Turn 7, I fail a dodge again for the blitz on the ball carrier with the same blitzer into an open square again, and he scores turn 8. 2-1 him, 5-0 casualties for him. And again, I can make the tough rolls. I just can't dodge into an empty square because why could I? Why should I?
I mean, sometimes it be that way. So we had 2 wins and 2 losses on this matchup. So we call this a tall. A
A
tall.
tall. Yes, we got a tall.
No, I was gonna say draw, but then I thought tie, and then I guess I came up with
A tall.
anyway. It
It
doesn't matter.
happens.
A tall. Yeah, a tie draw.
A tie draw.
Tie draw.
Round
We
6, we don't have to
thankfully
move tables.
no, it was amazing. We were on the same exact table. Didn't have to do anything.
I stole that table tag, by the way.
What's that?
Since I didn't move tables at all, I stole my table tag.
Oh, did you?
Just to have a little memento. He's not going to use them again.
No, no, it's a
Just
great
trash.
idea. I
Yeah,
just didn't. I didn't have to move like spots in any way, shape, or form because I
me
was in
neither.
the same spot for the team. So we're up against 3 dope mother
MFers.
MFers
And Tom.
and who?
Tom.
Tom and Tom. That's what it was.
Tom Remery.
Yeah. These guys, who was it? Sean Hennessy.
Yep.
Sean Hennessy. It was
2 other people.
Kyle Corbin, who I follow, OTS. I follow him on Facebook, and we've been friends forever. We have never played. It was Dark Orc 20, former Chaos Cup winner Tom Rummery, and then Bone Nasher. Like his face was familiar, but I do not. I don't know if I've ever met that guy, but again, his face was familiar, but I don't remember his name. So, anyways, as soon as we saw the matchups, I pulled Gary aside because Gary's competitive.
Gary gets to play Tom Remery.
He gets to play Tom Rummery. And I immediately say, I was like, don't let this guy rattle you. He's like, what do you mean? And I was like, this guy's going to talk trash. Win or lose, he's going to talk trash and a bunch of it and try to get under your skin. I was like, do not tilt. Do not tilt. Because eventually he might tilt.
And
So
Tom is a
just-
great guy, but he is very boisterous, very
This
apt
is one
to
of
get
those weird
cranky.
things where I'm going to say privately when I talk to Tom and encounter Tom, and I've never played Tom, he has been a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Does he fit the cranky old man, full metal Scott from 2007? Yes, he fits that. Maybe to an extreme. And him and hearing him and Gary mouth off to each other was just cracking me up over my table. This game ended up being a 0-0 draw. Gary was very close to scoring. anyways, it looked like actually a really good matchup going back and forth and stuff. And I think I could be wrong. Tom might have said something like, "Well, you didn't deserve to win. You were getting pretty lucky," and Gary just gave it right back to him. And I was proud because Gary never like tilted. So more than anything, I was glad to be there again, sitting with the team. If that was at Chaos Cup, Gary would have walked over and goes, "Man, I was playing this dude. He got under my skin." And maybe he would have tilted because nobody else was there to kind of just like just calm down.
Hmm.
You got it, you got it, you got it. Because I was whispering in his ear, "You got it, you're fine, you're fine." Uh, Tom did out casualty Gary big time, like 4-1 or something like that. But anyways, tie. I played Kyle Corbin. He has, man, I can't remember what team. Dude, I am. Oh, it was an undead team. I should remember this because it was frustrating. Undead team, right? No, Necro team. Sorry, I should know this because it was he had two werewolves. He had the star player werewolf. He had Wilhelm Chaney, which is a chode. You know how I hate Wilhelm Chaney. Um,
I thought you
again,
hated him mainly because he doesn't do well for you.
he never does well for me. And if I remember right, I think I hurt Wilhelm Chaney and got him out of the game. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong. Maybe it was the other werewolf. It doesn't really matter. I got out casualtied here, 5-2. I went up 1-0. I did everything in my power to stop him, including Skitter did it again. He went and did this little stab special thing, and I missed the first one, got the second one, knocked the ball loose. Um, I was I was down to about 4 or 5 people on the pitch. Really, I just needed him to roll bad. Um, he did not roll bad enough bad to he scored, and then I had one. Actually, it was turn 7 and we were down to under 4 minutes, and he goes, "Well, I guess I don't have to go for it because you only have a handful of guys, 4 or 5 6 guys, and I guess I could just pass the turn." And I said, "I'm gonna be really honest with you, this is a high stakes Blood Bowl tournament." I said, "If I have less than 4 minutes, I'm gonna use it all in my turn." He goes, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay." And he went ahead and he had 3 re-rolls or something like that. So he went ahead and did the go for it. He made it. He made it. He crossed the line, and because I was the second turn guy, so it would have been dumb for me to really hurry up on my turn and take a victory for myself. Um, so then we set up, and of course I get the last turn no matter what happens, and I tried to throw a guy. Once again, everybody has to use all the re-rolls before I get a chance. I did get the throw off. I go to land. I need a 50-50 ball, and then I just have a dodge to score, but I can't land the landing. So it is what it is. We ended up tied. It was actually a really good game. I'm glad I got to play Kyle. It's been a long time, but it feels like I've known him forever because through Facebook you're friends with somebody from Chaos Cup 2010 or something like that, and then you watch their kids grow for like the last 16 years, and you're like, yeah, I know your kid's going to college and doing this, and football's growing great and softball's going great, like these things, and yet you haven't played these people. So it was cool it was a great weekend of playing everybody I played. Nobody did I walk away, not that I would really say it here, but even privately, you never heard me say I hated that guy.
No, we didn't have
um
any of those people.
we it was overall a great weekend of just like solid coaches just there to play some Blood Bowl and do our best with the dreams of maybe our team can do something, even though we know we're underpowered because there's some power teams here. Um, s- Scrolling on down here, I see that we went
Can
Gary's.
I?
I
Oh,
drew a draw. Craig, he played Bone Nasher. He lost 4-2, so it was a bad match. I'm assuming for him. I'm trying to see what he played against. He played against Dark Elves, so 4-2. I'm assuming is a really awful match for Craig because he only had 2 casualties against him, which means other stuff must have went wrong. So you played Morpheus, which is
I.
Sean Hennessy.
Yep, Sean Hennessy. Last time I played him against his ogres was in Kentucky, and I believe I demolished him. So I didn't expect much because he's ogres. It's kind of is what it is. He's also very high the last time I played him. I mean, if that is a thing that people do, I don't know. Um, could be his business, not mine.
All I know is if they did do that and you were a first time customer in Detroit area at some place I think called Nuggets, you got 40% off your order.
That's nice.
From what I heard.
So he's got Zug. I won the kickoff, and I chose to receive. I got coaches, so I got an extra reroll. Looking good. And he puts 3 snotlings on the line. I'm like, sweet. This is going to be nice because I can hurt snotlings immediately, get him down on people. He's got a bench, but I mean, once you get rid of snotlings on an ogre team, you're not going to do much. So my first block, I hit with the bodyguard. Skull, both down, both down. So I had to use wrestle, thankfully. Second hit was also with the bodyguard. Skull, both down, both down.
Whoa, you're
So
leaning into the podcast
I
here.
really am. Then I used restful, thankfully. And then in the middle, I had a lineman, and I'm like, can't get worse, I guess. Unless I roll triple skulls, which I did. So I had to use a reroll immediately. Like, just insane. So that was not good. Um, so I maneuver, I get the ball, I blah, blah, blah. I'm all good. He gets a snotling up on my ball carrier and next to my ogre. I'm like, sweet. Turn 2, activate the ogre. I'm just going to smash this little fucker and kill him and get him out of the way. Skull, both down, both down. And I failed loner. So
Ooh.
I
Ooh.
knock myself down. Then he ends up knocking me down, gets the ball, runs away. I fail the dodge with the thrower to hit the ball carrier, so he scores turn 4 after I received against ogres. So, kickoff, another coaches, I win. This time my casualty's 2 snots on the line, so that was nice. Casualty another one the next turn, finally. Get both down with his ogre on my thrower. Both are fine, but he ends up, the ball goes to his ogre and he gets it. So I have to use my ogre to blitz his ball carrier, his ogre who has the ball, and then it goes to my ogre and I get it. And turn 8, I just have to hand off the ball to my blitzer who has catch, and I failed it twice. So end the half, and I'm down 1-0 against fucking ogres. The way this whole weekend has been going, I'm like, oh god, this cannot happen. Um, he receives, and I've got knockouts. I've got, don't remember how many, but 2 of my linemen stay knocked out. So it's mainly just ogres at this point. So it wasn't that bad. I was able to get the ball when I needed to, got him down, picked up the ball, scored. I could have had more, but just bad luck. I ended up winning 2-1, and casualties were 3-1 me. So thankfully, I did not lose to ogres on the last round. Still not great weekend. 2 wins, 1 tie, 3 losses. Took the same team to Water Bowl. They were humans there. They were nobility here. Same record both places. And I'm not thrilled. So, as much as I love Drew Blood, I'm not doing well with his teams when he paints them. And I'm not saying it's his fault, but I don't want it to be my fault. So I'm going to blame him. I think that's fair, right? Because
I mean, you just
I took the well painted Norse team to World Cup, and I did not do well there either. So obviously it's his fault, and I'm not just a bad player.
take the same team, but you paint a version of the team and see if they love you better and roll better when you do it. I, speaking of,
It's worth a
I
shot.
had a, I had a few people. Maybe they're being nice because this is what you do. You sit down across from somebody and you're like, okay, I got to talk to this dude. You might go, oh, I really like your team or something like that. I got some compliments on my team this weekend in Detroit, and it made me feel really good because I painted them in like less than 3 weeks, and they don't look bad. They're not a great team. I mean, they're
I
not
think
going
they
to win
look good.
awards, but they look good, and it made me really feel good when a few people acknowledged how cool they looked and stuff. I was also told by a couple of people, almost in the like, "What's going on with you?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they were like, "You are the calmest person on your team." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "On your team, you
That's fair. I slammed
are
the dice
the
cup a couple of times.
you have been, from everything we saw, the most well behaved on your team." Like, and I was like, well, inside I was really mad, and I was complaining the whole time against Wigwam because it was. I mean, like, even he was just like, he's like, I might win, but it's like it's kind of like you versus your dice, and I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's part of it, and it's just what it is, and blah blah blah. Um, so yeah, I was shocked that somebody acknowledged that I was well behaved. So you're the hothead now in both down, and
Sure
I'm
am.
not. And I'm not. I'm the calm guy. So just letting you know, roles have changed.
Yeah.
Um, Overall, what did we finish, Steve?
We overall had 2 wins, 3 ties, and 1 loss. We were one of we ended up 31st, I believe, overall, but we were one of only 11 or 12 squads with 1 loss. So there's
Wow,
that.
that's interesting. And out of all the people that had 17 points,
Yeah.
I mean, like, we could have been as high as 19th, I guess, if we had enough like bonus points or whatever it is for the
Mm-hmm.
tiebreakers, because we're the lowest of the sevens, and the sevens go from 19 all the way down to 31, which is us. Weren't we the only person with 2 wins, 3 ties, and 1 loss?
Yeah, absolutely. We were the sole occupant of that record.
If you would have, we finished about the area I expected us to do. I said I
Yes.
think we'll be better than 50%, but I'm not sure how much higher. But if you would have told me we got there, you're going to end the weekend with only 1 loss, I would have thought we would have been a little bit higher. But
Yeah.
ties aren't losses, but they're also not wins. So, I mean, like, however you want to look at it that way. So,
I think overall, it like I said, it went surprisingly well. The team record was better than my personal record, and I liked that. That definitely makes me feel better. And I kind of went through and looked at impacts of everybody onto how they impacted the win scenario or like the overall scenario of the round. For like, round 3, I lost. Didn't matter at all because we had 3 wins. So round 1, we tied. I got the only win, and there was Gary lost. So you can kind of look at that as like a negative push, whatever. Um, that being said, if I look into the metrics of it all, basically you were the MVP. You had
well,
the
hell yeah, I was MVP. I'm Scott Prime. No.
Gary had 3 wins, 2 ties, and a loss. You had 2 wins, 3 ties, and a loss, but they came in important areas. So whatever.
I mean, I don't know what your metrics is, but I'm glad you came up with it where it looks like I'm the top.
Oh yeah, and like it's not scientific at all. It makes no sense. It's just kind of how I was looking at it. Mainly, I was looking at me. I wanted to know if I did better than it felt. Like, was I a positive influence on the squad or was I a negative? Overall, I was a positive.
You were a positive, really?
Yeah. Round 2, I lost. It didn't matter because we would have lost that anyways.
I'm legit teasing you.
Yeah.
Do you have awards,
No.
like who won what? I'm
I
just
did
gonna let
record them, so you can go to the YouTube where we posted it or anywhere. It
so
took me
the
forever to
local
get that fixed, though, man.
the local guys from the Detroit area, D Town Underground, which had Matt Vanderby,
Saul,
Solomon,
nicely.
nicely on there, Ryan or Falcon, and Charles Tornow, paper bag four. They were like the local dudes. They ended up taking the whole thing.
5 wins, 1 tie. Opponent score 51.
Now it came down to tiebreakers.
Yep.
Because there was another squad that also had 11 team points. That was second place. That was the
Scuttle Squad.
Scuttle Squad. John Lackey was on that team. I'm not sure who.
Core was
Core was on that team. Norman Breeder and
Zephyel.
Zephyriel. I'm not really familiar, maybe with some of those people, but and then third place was the Cool, Calm, and Collected Squad. That one had Frozen Flame, which is the only name I recognize here. But there was a couple of squads tied with 10th, so that played out. They gave out some individual awards. I know there was a team award, I think, for best defense, and of course they trickled down. Um, Went to some of the Oklahoma guys.
Yeah,
Jordan Knutson here in who plays in our league and stuff. His squad was three Oklahoma guys, I believe, and one Texas guy, and so they ended up getting a little trophy out there, which was really cool.
that's
Tim
awesome.
Lyons, who ran the same exact roster as me, and is, in my opinion, a better player than me. He went 4 wins and 2 ties with Snotlings and won the Stunty Cup,
That's awesome.
which is pretty amazing. So there was some separate awards out for like the best tier one team and stuff like that. Gary was actually very close to that. And like going into, I think the second day, he was in the top couple on that. I think he just barely missed out on that, um, which was pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
just to be in the running for that. Now, after all this was over, to wrap up Sunday, we they gave out like they, of course, they did the trickle down awards because if not, every the top team most of the time is going to get almost everything,
Yeah,
etc. After it was all said and done, we went to what was it, a Ford themed?
yeah. Ford Burgers or whatever.
It reminded me of Chili's, but it had the name Ford on it, and they had
And
different
they
food.
licensed the name from the Ford company. I don't didn't look into it. They had a really cool bathroom that had like gas station nozzles for the faucets and tires for the sinks. It was weird.
No, it was fine. We had a good time. We ate
It was
there.
pretty good food and surprisingly cheap. So
Yeah, for what it was, I thought it was. I had a salad, and it was the best thing I ate the whole trip,
mm-hmm.
the whole freaking trip. It was amazing,
Onion rings
and
are great too.
maybe my the onion rings were good. Maybe my body was just like, you need to eat something healthy, dude.
Yeah,
You
there's a
need
lot
to
of
eat
that.
something healthy. So, water and salad is what it was, and it was amazing. We come back. We talk to the people. I go get some ice cups because I'm like, I'm not walking down, and I got cold sodas up in the upstairs, and
And we
I
had
don't
to.
even know if I want to talk about it. But
Hmm,
um, to wrap, I am going to talk about it because I feel like it's worthy of being talked about. But Sean Callie did an amazing job. His staff did an amazing job. They filled in where they needed to. If somebody had a player that dropped for a round or something like that, they were there to fill in. Come to find out, I don't know why she's in the hospital, but Sean's wife was in the hospital for many, many weeks leading up to this event. I had no clue because here's what Sean Callie did for me. I had a Snotling team. I didn't really want to build the pump wagons. I was just going to paint 2 other trolls and just use those for the pump wagons, like whatever. Put a Snotling on their back or something. Sean offered those Zambonis for the Second Sons tournament. I was like, hey, is there any way I can get these early? And if I pay him, he shipped them out, no problem. My point is up to this point, until he mentioned this, I had no idea he was dealing with some family stress and stuff of things at home, which what I'm trying to say is like he was calm and cool the whole weekend. You wouldn't have known.
oh yeah,
Hats off to Sean for that because I don't know how he could hold all that in with all the stuff going on. From the little bit I see of him and Julie on Facebook, they seem like they're like a great fit, kind of like me and Jennifer. So I can already imagine she was just like, no, you dedicated yourself to this. I'll be fine. You go do this. I don't know that for sure, but I'm just saying, like, hats off to both of them. Sean, you and your crew, you pulled it off, despite the hotel not having elevators and power at the time, which is nothing you can control. The tournament went as smooth as any tournament I've ever been to.
Yeah.
There was not a lot of lag time where we had to be like, okay, hold on, hold on, hold on.
And again,
We
like,
gotta-
and it's a lot of it
And
goes to the program. Every
yes,
tournament I go to that uses that program, right on time or early. Like,
right.
that's
And
what it
that's
is.
and that's Sean Huberman. So like
Yeah.
you get a hold of him, figure out how to use this software, run your tournaments. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. It just was. How much even more would we be talking about? What a great event this was if the power wouldn't have ran out. And I look, man,
That was
when
the
we
only negative, and that didn't throw a negative on it.
well
Well,
Monday when I went, there is a negative thing I think,
yeah,
but
we'll talk about that after this.
um, walking down the stairs Monday morning, we caught Uber with Austin from down in Houston, and all of us pitched in. I was like, why are my butt muscles sore? And then I realized that's because you've been doing the stairmaster, fatty, walking up and down these stairs. At one
Yeah.
point, Gary comes up because he, after we ate, I was like, I'm going up and I'm not coming back down. And Gary got hungry, and then he was like, "Hey, the guys want us to come down to the bar and hang out with them." And I was like, I love those guys, but I don't love them 6 flights of stairs." I go, "I'm not going." So
Also,
we
a lot of the
didn't.
problem is we had to get up super early to leave.
Yeah, I had to get up at 4:30 again. I had 2 weeks off of vacation, and I got to sleep into 8:30 one of those days only. Um, so basically, that wraps up Sunday in a nutshell. Um,
Well,
I'm a I'm about to talk about something that I do not know the whole story.
I can fill in some.
You might know more than I do, so let me just tell you my version. And this is not to assassinate anybody's character or this or that. I did not notice at the time one of the teams, all their players didn't go up to the stand. I didn't notice that. Anyways, there was a controversy about they handed out prizes for first, second, third, and then they did like team best defense, team most casualties, individual most casualties, individual touchdowns, individual stunty, and then they gave an award for if you didn't already get an award, if you were the highest ranked team singly, we're going to give you this award. Now, two guys had it tied. One guy got a team trophy, but I guess didn't go accept his award.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not notice that at the time, but when I came back to the bar after we ate to get some ice, people were like, there's a big controversy. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I guess what I heard, was is he did not want to go on stage because he thought he deserved that award because through tiebreakers, he was the best player of the tournament. And I heard from other people, not his teammates. I heard he asked his teammates not to go up and accept the award for second place. And I hope all that is wrong. But I even stuck up for him. I was like, he was there to get the award. And people were like, no, go watch Steve's video. He wasn't there. And so there you go. I don't know, and I haven't looked it up to know if in the rule set it said we're trickling down awards.
So
But
that's the main issue. I did go back and look. The rules have no mention of it.
okay. Traditionally, though, if you're a Blood Bowl player, you know things trickle down. And from my point of view, I was shocked that there was even individual awards, period, being a team event. But I thought, you know what? There's 300 people here. The Amorical Cup staff probably thinks 12 people are going to get awards, first, second, third. Let's let's hand out another 8 to 10 awards. Just people are happy. People like getting stuff right.
Mm-hmm.
And as a community, we're in Blood Bowl. There's never going to be a time where if I win first place or second place, I'm not going to whine that I didn't get most touchdowns because it's more prestigious to get second or stuff like that.
I mean,
So
yeah. I mean, and again, I've done this because remember, we went to Three Die Block one time or Three Die Brawl one time when it was top table still. And top table drew, and they didn't give away Like they gave them first and second. I got second overall and walked away with nothing.
Right.
So,
But
and I made a fuss about it. I didn't get my buddies to go on the internet and whine and complain.
so then somebody posted online, and I don't want to give names or anything because I think they run a YouTube channel or something like that. And they were talking about how they watched it, and the Amorical Cup was a black eye because they didn't give the rightful person award. the person, the two people with the best records, they played each other. They tied.
Mm-hmm.
One guy got a team award for second place. The other guy got overall, I guess, best player, however you want to look at it. I get some people go, but he wasn't the best player. There was somebody else with the tiebreakers. And I'm like, I get that, but maybe I don't win enough where, like, I love getting something. Matter of fact, my buddy Gary used to be like, I go, hey, you got best offense. And he goes, well, it trickled down to me. But he actually admitted this past weekend before all this. The good news is I usually forget it trickles down to me, and I look back at stats and I go, "Oh, that's really cool. I got most offense," or something like that. He goes, "I tend to forget," and it's cool to see that I won something somewhere. Getting a plastic trophy doesn't change. Both those players are clearly great players. The one that supposedly didn't go accept his award for second place could easily be argued, if not is, the best player in America.
Mm-hmm. If you look at his records on the NAF, it's insane.
Correct. Like it is freaking crazy. Like mad respect. It's unbelievable. It looks like fake stats that somebody just made up,
I
right?
will never play him because I'm not that good. If I do, we're sharing dice. So,
And you're only going to play him in round one by accident because
exactly.
you're not going to play him after that. Correct. I would actually, and I stated before the tournament, I I picked the top team and I picked the second team. I said those teams are going to finish first and second, and it's a coin flip, and it sure happened. That was a private conversation with me and Gary. And Gary's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Well, this guy has the best player in America. This guy has a great player from England. This guy has this, and the other team, they're all pretty solid too. So if I think it was, I don't want to say low class. I'm not in your situation, but I think it was in really bad taste for not going to accept your second place award.
So, yeah.
And I stuck up for you because I thought you did. um, People know who's the best player there. People know the other award trickled down because it wasn't on the first team or the second team or the third team. It trickled down to like the fifth team with this guy that had a great record. People know. You. My point is people know who you are. You don't need extra validation because you are a great player. And now if it wasn't in the rule set, I could see maybe being a tad perturbed about it. But at the same time, you got second.
Yeah. So I will take the counter position to an extent. I would be upset if I saw that rule set, and there was no mention of trickle down, and I got the best record, and on the listing it shows me at the top, and I did not get the award. I would be upset.
Would you not
I
go?
would talk to Sean, or I either would be just upset and let it go and complain to myself and my squad mates. It's like, ah, man, I should have got it because blah, blah, blah. Or I could have talked to Sean and be like, hey, it doesn't necessarily say there's trickle down, so I don't know if he should have got that. No, I would never in a million frickin' years be like, hey, he should not get that. I should get it. And be
See, I don't know if
emphatic.
that.
I don't
I
know if
don't know
he
if
did that either. However,
there was somebody
and
online really complaining about
that's the
how
thing.
it's a big giant black eye, and I'm here to tell you, you weren't there. The tournament ran amazing. The hotel had some problems, but honestly, the hotel was super nice in every other way.
Except the
Matter of
breakfast.
fact, well, I mean, it was expensive breakfast, but you're eating at a hotel. You
I
expect
know.
that, right? Even that Sunday, when every time I went to go get a drink from the snack bar, the guy gave it to me free.
Hmm,
He's like, you're staying here, right? And I was like, yeah. He goes, then take it because we've already put you through enough. You're
hmm,
probably having to climb stairs. And I was like,
nice.
this is nice of you. And I went back and he's like, take it. And I was like, I already had one for free. No, take it. Okay. The third one, take it.
Well, you should have told your squad mates. That would have been nice.
Well, I wanted to keep getting free soda.
Overall, like I said, and Sean handled it great. He had a talk with him. He said he had coffee with him and decided to talk the NAF into putting co-champions on the website. Cool. They're
Okay.
both happy. Here's the thing, and I'm not saying this is on John Lackey's head because I don't know that he asked his buddy to do this or whatever. The guy that posted that can go fuck himself and fuck himself with a rusty barbed
Wow.
baseball bat. Just
Wow.
like, what
A
the
baseball.
fuck are you doing? You have an issue? You talk to the person running it. If you weren't there and it wasn't your tournament and you didn't play and someone else told you something else, you talk to your buddy and tell him to talk to the organizer. You know what you don't do? You don't get on a fucking platform and talk about how the biggest and probably most well run event in American history is shit because your buddy didn't get a fucking award for first place when he got an award for second. So, again, nothing to do with John. If he went to his buddy and said, "Hey buddy, post this for me," then fuck him too. But I don't think he did.
Ooh.
I don't care. That's shitty. And again, if this was a random event, I would be perturbed, right? I'd be upset. It'd be stupid. But I wouldn't care that much. This is when we're trying to look good on a world stage and we got enough problems with fucking idiot in the White House destroying everything. When we lose the World Cup bid because of that, when half of the world thinks we're a goddamn joke, we don't need our best tournament to be sullied because one guy threw a fucking fit for something he wasn't involved with. That's my take on it. I don't give a shit. Like,
I mean, you're actually right. If it was John that actually got online and said, hey, I didn't see this in the rule set. I was a little bit upset, blah, blah, blah. That's totally different because he was
absolutely.
at least he was living the situation.
Yep.
Now I would have said, you need to go accept your award with your teammates.
Yeah.
And I really do hope that like he didn't ask them not to accept their awards.
Right. That's ridiculous.
In fact, I heard that at the bar. I'm not saying that's true. So don't even, it doesn't really matter.
No.
I mean,
and again, if he posted online, just, everything was great. I'm upset that I didn't get the first place trophy because there's nothing in the rules about it. But other than that, everything went well. That's an entirely different thing than rando number 5 throwing a pissy fit and trying to make us look bad. That's my problem.
it almost felt like,
And again, you're the one keeping cool and I'm the one being the hothead.
no, I mean, but it did feel like you went back up to your hotel room and you started reading this thread by this other person and you're going like, it almost feels like, you gave me a reason to attack and I'm going to try to tear it down so nobody else will ever come to one of these things.
Right.
And I don't understand because, and I don't even know the person, but some other people were like, well, the moment you actually step out and go to a in-person tournament, we'll talk and all this stuff. So I don't know if he's just an online player, a streamer, something like that. It doesn't really matter. But besides that, the event was really well. Kudos to Sean. I know he met with John the next day, like you said. They talked it out or discussed things, and
again,
it's solved.
Yeah.
My only counter argument to that is that somebody else could go, well, I tied for best defense and I didn't get the award. Can we be co-champions to that?
And like I said, I think it's
but
fine.
It's also none of my business because I didn't win anything.
Yeah. I'm never going to be in that position, but that's fine. And again, it's resolved. And again, nothing on John. If he had nothing to do with this, I'm not going to put any of that blame on him. That's perfectly fine. But you can't take back first impressions. And when we are here like, hey, look at this great event. We did great. America got 300 coaches to show up. It's a giant-ass country, and we still got 300 people. And then one idiot just spouts off on something he's not involved with instead of just taking it up with the person running the event, or just leaving it alone because it's none of your goddamn business. Or just posting it as a, by the way, I feel that this could have been done better, instead of just jumping on the vitriol and calling it a shit event and all this stuff. Like, there was no need for that.
Well, here's what I'm
That's why I did not
scared.
reply, because I would have said something along those lines.
Oh, ended up finally saying like I just don't understand what, basically like why is this so important to you? Like I don't get it. Um, what I'm scared is though the next people who run a Moracle Cup is going to see this incident, and they're going to say, fine. We're going to take away some individual awards. We're going to do a team stunty cup.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do everything's going to be team awards, which honestly, that's kind of what I thought there were, anyways, because I didn't really look into the rules that much. So it was kind of weird knowing that there was awards for every tier coach too, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Or is that
Every
crazy?
top of
Okay,
every
yeah,
tier.
top of every tier. I mean, so it just happens. So
I mean, would he get first place and top tier coach and
um,
second place?
I
Like,
mean, I mean that's what you could argue about. And again, the ultra competitive people, and it's usually just the ones who always won all the awards.
mm-hmm.
They won everything. The people who win occasionally were very cool with some trickle down.
Yeah,
We're cool driving 4 hours away for a tournament, and oh, best defense trickled down to me. Well, it's better than nothing.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
in our little brain, our little team who we make fluff around because we're both down, we talk about how that team is the best solid defense in town, and blah 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 blah. So, anyways, I don't want that to be. It felt at the time like this great event now has a bad taste at the end of it,
Exactly.
and I don't want it to be
It's like
remembered like
having
that.
a great meal and shitting yourself.
That's called Taco Bell.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Oh, that was pretty good. Boom. Anyways, I'm just scared now. From now on, though, we will not have individual awards. But one thing's for sure: if it wasn't in the awards, it will be next time.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Just make it clear next time. It's perfectly
Right.
fine.
And I don't know. I go back and forth on this. Again, maybe he read the rules and was really excited, and that meant more to him than the team part of things, which is what it kind of sounds like. But again, I'm not going to put words in his mouth. Most of us know things trickle down, and we don't mind it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't mind it.
And the individual's not Swiss. It's Swiss inside Swiss. So it is what it is.
Like you could actually argue, like, why is that even an award?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just an award for fun. And that's what all the awards typically are for
And
fun.
that's what they were meant to do. Anyways, we also moving on. We also raised over $5,000.
Was it 5 or 3?
Pretty sure it was five.
Okay.
I thought it was over $5,000 for like a local hospital or
Either way, it
something
was a
like that.
lot.
It was a lot of money. All the people who put on those raffles, and they didn't announce it in front of everybody. They just secretly came over and handed you stuff during the last round, which I
Yeah,
thought was really a great idea.
I mentioned that Chaos Cup a couple times ago because the previous time to that, it took an hour or something to give away everything, and it just
Yeah,
became
it's just
so
so much
much.
stuff. So
Which, again, it's nice to have the stuff, but I don't need to be awarded it in front of everybody. You can just bring it to my table. I'm happy. I got what I wanted.
So my grade of the whole trip, because I used this Blood Bowl tournament as an excuse to take off for work 2 weeks and actually go to a different city. I was actually more excited to shop around than the Blood Bowl even, but
You didn't even
had
talk
some
about
good
coming
blood.
back to Denver.
Well, we're going to talk about that after we end this.
Okay.
But my trip just to Detroit, let's act like the hotel, because I didn't like climbing 6 flights of stairs. Let's act like that's a big inconvenience. It would really, it's pretty close to an A to an A plus type weekend type
Yeah.
deal. 'Cause I just had a great time. I had a great time with my friends hanging out. My comic book shopping and stuff was really fun. Besides missing RoboCop, that makes me kind of mad, but it is what it is. And I should have took more pictures. I got to see a Fantastic Four #1.
Ooh, nice.
at one of those shops in Detroit. It was pretty cool to actually see that in person. Anyways, great trip, and then I guess we'll talk about wrap this all up in the next segment.
You want to talk about your trip in the next segment? Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about.
Okay.
We're gonna end you. We get on a plane really early in the morning, and we're flying back to Denver. We'll be back. All right, here we are. We're flying back. This is a little trip. Steve enticed us to come back to Denver because he's like, we're seeing the Detroit on Friday, but the Cubs play at Coors Field on Tuesday night. So me and Gary decided to go visit Steve.
And
So
fortuitously, Craig was in Minneapolis, so his room was open.
right. So we had a little place to stay and everything else. We fly back to Denver. Steve beats us by like an hour, but that gives him
Like
time
two
to pick
hours,
up
I
the car.
think. But
Was it
yeah,
2 hours?
picked up the car, waited, and picked you up.
And Steve had an itinerary that you wouldn't believe for comic book stores. So if you only care about Blood Bowl, we're probably done.
Yeah.
Um, to kind of not talk about this forever, we went. God, it felt like we went to like 8 to 10 stores on Tuesday. I could be wrong,
I don't think it was
but
that many, but
we went to a bunch of stores. Hall of Heroes, I believe, is
I
the
think it's
big
Hall of
one.
Justice.
Hall of Justice Comics or
What was
Hall
the
of
Hall of
Heroes.
Heroes? I don't know. They're what they
That
are.
that one was recommended to me by some guys here in Oklahoma, so I was glad to hit that up. Just about every store I found something I was looking for on my list. Just like in Detroit, it's like, oh, it's so cool being outside of Oklahoma looking for comics.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
We ate at a
we
good ramen place that
we
had
ate at a ramen
anime
place that
everywhere.
had anime, One Piece stuff everywhere. I took a chance and I ordered something different because I didn't want to order the same stuff Steve and Gary ordered. And my food was fine, but theirs was better.
Oh yeah, ours was really damn good.
Mine
And
just had
I
mine
want
had fried chicken in it, and I did not want more fried things. I wanted grilled.
so Gary
So
and I got the chicken. Uh, anyways, chicken and rice basically. Um, but what they did is they gave us one goiza. Was it one or two goiza?
I think it was two.
Yeah, two, which is perfect because I love the dumplings and I want them, but I don't want to do a whole appetizer order. So it came with two, and I'm like, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want.
Right.
Other places
Uh,
should do that. So I'm sure all the Chinese restaurant people that are listening to this podcast will do that now, which is
sure. Why
exactly
wouldn't they?
zero
I mean, they're like listening to their favorite number one Blood Bowl podcast, and they're like,
about
we
food
should
and
do that
comics.
one. Yeah. So yeah, about food comics. We hit a bunch of other shops before the end of the day. We finally get to Steve's house. It feels like we ate it. What was it Burger Time? Backyard
Oh,
Back Time Burgers.
um, frozen. It's the frozen custard place. Burgers, something I forget.
Backyard Burgers.
No,
No,
no, god dang it,
I thought it was Backyard Burgers, but
no.
okay. If you don't say it was, then maybe it wasn't. What do I know? I only have them like right here in my phone.
Oh yeah, then what's to say?
Well, I'm trying to look for it. I'm still looking. we
So
went we went to so many places. We went to this cool like
good times
something
burger and frozen custard.
Good Times
Yep.
Burgers. Yes. We went to Vision Comics and Oddities. We went to this giant toy store called Jeff's Collectibles. I was about to
That
lose my
that
mind.
pace. That place was so much better the last time I went.
Oh,
It
it was
still had a
really good.
ton of toys, which is awesome. But their comic selection before was phenomenal, and they had a ton of CGC stuff, like high end stuff I'd never seen before. And
I
now it's
wonder if
just crap.
I wonder if somebody came and bought a whole bunch of stuff from them.
Or they just decided that that wasn't selling, so they took it online. I don't know. But that disappointed me because I was looking forward to that one.
Okay. It was still good to me. We went back to Steve's place. We had to do laundry because we only packed enough for up to that point.
Mm-hmm.
We did laundry. We crashed out. Next day, we got up and we did it again. We hit a whole bunch of stores.
Yep.
Um, the big one was Mile High Comics. Now, Steve has warned me about Mile High Comics. I really did want to go up in the mountains. We went over to what, Boulder?
We went to
Is that
Boulder.
where we
Yeah.
saw the mountains? And I remember my grandmother. We'd travel like throughout the summer, and we just drive. And I remember we drove up through the Rocky Mountains and
Oh,
then
that's
to
cool.
Wyoming and Yellowstone and
You're
all that
welcome to come
stuff.
back out anytime. I can drive
And
you.
I really wasn't joking when I said I'd kind of like to go up the mountains. I remember just being a kid, and I know this is just a kid memory of false things probably, but I remember we stopped and we went down to this little stream and it had all the little rocks and stuff. Everything was, the
Mm-hmm.
rapids were going through, and I remember we drank from the rapids, like the water.
Yeah.
And as a kid I was like, you can drink this, and I was like, yeah, it's really crystal clear, and I remember it tasting amazing. It was cold as hell. It was refreshing. I thought I was drinking a bottle of Aquafina when I was little. I mean, that's how my memory is. I probably got some parasite, and that's my problem from drinking that water. But that was some good memories from that. And I was kind of serious about kind of wanting to go up there just to.
If we had more time, definitely.
I
That's the
mean, it's
problem.
been for sure 40 years since I've been up there. So, anyways, it was really cool. We went to Mile High Comics. Steve warned me, and so did other people. Like, all their prices are super high. They're gonna have everything, but are you willing to pay? And I told myself I'm only spending $20. Well, it was even bigger than I thought, and it was like in an industrial part of town where there's nothing but warehouses.
Yeah, it's literally a warehouse.
Half the warehouse is full of comics, and I mean, we joked like, "Hey, let's pull all our savings together and buy this Superman number 6, or number 7, or number 8, or this old issue." I mean, everything was there. So I
But
went
to
through
give
my
you an
list.
example, like they had Amazing Fantasy 15, good condition, first appearance of Spider-Man, all day, $15,000 comic, and they wanted what 65,000, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Insane, insane. And like comic books that I want that are dollar issues, or maybe $3, maybe in perfect condition $5, even after their discount was $30.
So this is what I didn't know. And since talking to you afterwards and a few other people afterwards, I guess their gimmick is everything online is their price. Everything in store, they had signs everywhere that said all yellow tag things are at 70% off. And I looked at some stuff and I was like, oh, so now this $8 comic that I was gonna buy because I can't find this issue anywhere else around Oklahoma is either a dollar comic or a $3 comic, but it's $8 here, but 70% off puts it about where I'm willing to pay for it. So I'm digging through stuff. I probably have $30 worth of things. And then the guy's like, "Do you need any help?" And I was like, "I think I found everything." And I was like, "I was just looking for this." And he goes, "Well, let's check our inventory." And I was like, "Well, I already checked out there." And he's like, "Oh, that stuff's not inventory." I was like, "What?" And he went to his website, which their website is terrible.
Oh yeah, is that website has not changed since 1995.
Correct. I was starting to say it looks like something that was made in mid '90s and nothing's changed.
And I
Uh,
legit mean that. Like I had a
no, I
computer in '93. I got that was back Usenet. So the moment they had real internet, 94, 95, I went there because they were the first people to have an online, comic book website.
exactly the
Same
same.
exact thing. It's crazy.
So he starts looking things up there, and I was like, "Well, if you're going to look in there," he goes, "Everything in here is behind us." And I was like, "That's what they're using the rest of this giant warehouse for." And I mean, it looked like stacks and stacks of stuff that I always joke and tell people. It looked like where they put the Ark of the Covenant for Indiana Jones. Like, when the guy was writing down stuff for books, go back and pull for me, he would not pull the title of the comic. He wrote down the bin number, which is like a 10-digit number.
Right.
So I'm assuming everything is just numerical back there.
Yeah, it's not alphabetical at all because I wanted them to pull out every copy of a specific issue because I'm looking for a variant that is unknown to the community as a whole. It's Green Lantern Corps 203. There's one with no words, which is the common one, and there's one with words. And again, no place online lists this as a variant. Nobody knows about it. So I'm trying to snatch all up that I can before someone does. And I was like, I want to see this comic. He goes, okay, which one? This one. Okay, well, which grade do you want? All of them. What do you mean? I want to see all of these copies.
Right. You wanted to look at the 10 copies and pull out the book
Absolutely.
you wanted. Right.
Exactly. And he's like, well, I can't do that. I'd have to, I mean, they're not all in one place. They're in, each one is in a different box, in a different row, in a different this. I'm like, okay. And that's not my problem. So do it. I wasn't like that. But he goes, okay, well, just
He's
tell me
sassy
which
a little bit.
one. And then he told me the prices, and I'm like, well, none of them. Never mind.
Well, here's the deal. There's a lot of books I've been tracking down for a while, and they are hard to find books. I didn't like paying the prices, but when he said, because he pulled up something, it was like $48. I was like, oh, $48. He's like, yeah, but it's 70% off. And I was like, what? That stuff's 70% off? And then I just like, we went to closing that place down because I had him busy the whole time. I ended up spending like $200 there. Got like, according to them, $700 worth of books for $200, which is not the case. I paid $200 for probably $160 worth of books. Either way, I was happy. I closed out a lot of comic series that I wanted to read. I brought them home. I'm so excited. I can start reading these series now. It turned out to be a better Mile High experience than what I expected
Which is good, and that's
because
why I lowered your expectations, so that way it'd be good.
Steve lowered my expectations. Brian from the comic store here lowered my expectations. Jason, who is associate with the comic store, lowered my expectations. It was probably the best case scenario for that. So I walked off with a bunch of little items that I was really happy to get, and off to the baseball game. We went to Coors Field, and it was Cubs versus the Colorado Rockies. And if you've never been to Coors Field, it is a gorgeous stadium.
It really is. I'm very impressed by it. And it's fun all the time. Like I think I told Gary this when you were out getting food or something. That's half the problem with the Rockies. Is even if they put out a shit team, which they are 90% of the time, people still go because it's right downtown. It's easy to get to. It's cheap. It has cheap beer, and it's just a great time.
I had a really good time. I walked the whole stadium at least once, took pictures from different angles, even the little guard people. I was like, I'm not sitting over here. I'm sitting in left field, but can I walk down there and take a picture? And he's like, sure, yeah, go for it, and all this stuff. I had a great time. We stayed for the whole game. Luckily, these two guys didn't want to, bail. Cubs got
We,
their ass
we could
kicked.
have.
Yeah, we could have. Cubs got their butts kicked, but we had a good time sitting around watching the game, and then rode the train back to the car. Went back to Steve's place, crashed out, and got up super early again the next freaking day.
Yep.
And then me and Gary, Steve dropped us off. We thanked him. We flew back to Oklahoma, and the reality of like, well, vacation's over. And then I still had like 2.5 days of just like laying around, and I did do that. I thought about going to work the comic store or something and be a busybody, but I didn't. I just enjoyed vacation.
And I was
And
like, oh man, I can't wait for the weekend. I get to sleep in. And oh, wait, no, I'm going to Minneapolis. Shit.
right. And we'll save that for another episode.
Sure will.
So that was the Scott Prime trip, and Steve was part of
I
it.
was there.
Yeah, you're like a side character.
Thanks. You
I
didn't even
mean,
bother looking at my room. I even
I,
cleaned.
I came in your
I
room.
one time. I know.
What was I supposed to do?
I
Come
don't
in there and
know.
make love to you?
But like, oh, cool. Look at all this cool stuff, man.
You wouldn't let me open your toys anyways if I tried.
That's true. Yeah. No,
No, Steve has his room.
so much stuff.
So much stuff. It's like a little museum of like Blood Bowl and like DC figures and stuff
And comics.
and comics. I mean, it's not a whole lot different than when you lived with me.
No, not at all.
You have a setup so you can get into your room and into your little man cave and stuff like that. Now I will complain that me and Gary wanted to watch TV in the living room, and you were like, I don't know how to turn this
I
on,
do not know how to turn it
and I was
on.
like, you've lived here like 2 years. Do you not come out here and watch like TV? And he's like, no.
It's been 3 years, and no, I do not.
It's so weird.
Well, that's Craig's area. I mean, I could. Like, he would not complain if I did.
I know, but you lived with me, and you were out in the living room and in other rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Does he just make? Does he yell at you?
No, I just don't. You also never watched TV. So
No.
it was like I could just go out there and be on the TV. You didn't give a rat's ass.
I'm pretty sure my TV is going like, what the fudge is going on? Because it's been on every day since the World Cup started. Because I do have the games on, and I currently
Right.
have one on right now. It's
Eh,
0-0
well, exciting.
between Jordan and Algeria.
Oh, nice.
By the time the World Cup's done, either I'm going to be able to call a game in Spanish because I do not have FS1 to get all the American broadcasts.
My brother was complaining about that.
Yeah. Yeah, not every game is in English, at least if you're poor.
He's like, every game's on Peacock. They don't tell you it's the Spanish broadcast.
Right, it is. And that's, I've either been watching on Peacock or Telemundo, but yeah, it's all in Spanish.
Oh, well.
Probably should have paid more attention to that, but I didn't. But anyways, great. I had a great trip overall. Nothing really sullied my experience except
No.
maybe the person ranting online.
Even
but
that doesn't affect us. I mean,
it didn't. I realized when I was paying attention to it and checking the thread to see what other people said, I was like, "You're just buying into this. You're giving this person attention," and I
mhm.
stopped. I just stopped. I was like, "It doesn't concern you. Move on." So, anyways,
Well,
you have anything else to wrap up on this?
no, just come back with shout outs.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And we're back to finally wrap this up. And for the first time in a long time, we've done a 3-part thing. And now, for the first time in a long time, Scott gets to.
Shout out!
There you go.
Jordan just scored.
Look at that.
In this matter of minutes in between segments, Jordan is up 1-0 at the 38th minute. Have you watched any World Cup, Steve?
Nope.
I'd like to shout
First
out.
time I ever haven't. Because I don't
I'd
have
like
it.
to shout out the World Cup, even though I hate the hydration breaks, and I know they're just corrupt, a corrupt organization. I really do enjoy watching World Cup soccer. It is my favorite event, and this is also why when I run my leagues, we do a first place game and a third place game based off like how World Cup runs the top four.
Nice.
And I really think college basketball should do the same thing. That
Yeah.
would make Final Four weekend be a weekend of events.
That's true.
They could do the 2 games on Saturday. The 2 losers of those games play Sunday, and then Sunday or Monday they play the national championship game. But that's just my opinion.
Okay. Well, shout out to, I guess, the World Cup organization for putting on football. And
I will say this.
all the host cities freaking out the foreigners, telling them how much they love Texas, not being bitter.
No, I've heard nothing but great things from people who've traveled here about how we're actually shocked how nice Americans are. And it's like, yes, don't judge us by our leaders.
Oh, absolutely.
Please, please don't. So, no, I've heard a lot of positive things for just American people and stuff like that. So maybe,
Everyone going to
that,
Buc-ee's getting their mind blown.
well, I mean, there's things to. I mean, American proportions of food is ridiculous,
Hmm.
and Bucky's is ridiculous. If there's anything that's, I mean, what's more American than the Bucky's gas station that looks like a mall from the 1980s? So,
Dolly Parton opened up a gas station.
did she really?
I just saw a TikTok about it.
Wow.
So I kind of want to go there now.
I mean,
Next
probably
time
worth.
we're in Tennessee.
You should.
Obviously, shout out to Sean, everyone at the Amorical Cup. Great time, excellently run, everyone involved with that. Sean Huberman with BBTM. That's amazing. I don't know what more to say about that. We gushed already.
Congratulations to all the tournament winners. I mean,
Oh
like
yeah, true.
You had to go through a lot of people.
Yeah,
That was a week. It was just a. There was a lot of really good players there, and I'm not counting myself. Not that I'm a player, but there was a lot of big time players there.
and we can
And,
say we got the only record that only had 2 wins, 3 ties, and a loss.
yeah, most people are like, why would I want that record? My record was better.
Doesn't matter. We're the only ones that got it.
We finished 31st, which is a prime number.
That is true. Look at that.
So
Prime
that's a good.
time.
That's right. Yeah, we've already gave Sean a bunch of accolades and his crew a bunch of accolades. And again, I had a great time besides walking the stairs. I probably needed that, but I didn't want that.
Right.
So thank you for hosting us in Denver and driving us around everywhere. 'Cause
Absolutely.
you didn't have to do that, and we really appreciate that. And turned out to be a really fun trip, and I'm going to try. I got to be careful how I word this, otherwise you're going to try to get me to go like overseas or something like that. But
World
I'm
Cup
gonna do
next
my.
year.
I doubt that I'm going to go to that. Every time I hear something about that, I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that, but that's a me thing. Um, I'm going to try every year to maybe take a full 2 weeks off of work. I think it did really good for my mental health, and I haven't done that since going back to COVID. So
Oh yeah, that's a big deal.
I did the thing at work where you could actually buy a week's vacation, and
We can
pay
do
it
that.
back.
I'll be doing that next year.
Uh, I questioned me doing that, and I'm for sure always going to buy 1 week from now
Mm-hmm.
on. Maybe two, just to have 3 total weeks
Can
off
you
if I
buy
really.
2?
My job, I can. I just
Jeez.
don't know if I can officially afford to do that. But anyways, it was something I wasn't gonna do, and I'm really glad I did it for myself. And I needed the time and just reset my brain and mentality and everything else. So it was a good mental health practice for sure. So, um, anyways, if I saw you at World Cup, you already know I would like to think there's so many of you people who came up for the first time and just shook my hand, goes, hey, you don't know me, but I listen to you all the time. I want to thank you for the podcast. Trust me, those mean a lot more than you think, even though I act like it's not a big deal. It means a lot.
There's also a lot of
Uh,
people who are like, "Oh, you're still doing that? I haven't heard you in 6 months."
well, that's true. And yeah, there's so many things. I'm about ready to give up on a lot of the website stuff, which we can't. But
Yeah.
um, yes, we're on Facebook, people. We post every time we have a thing. We're
Mm-hmm.
on what is it, Podbeam or wherever it is.
Yeah.
You can find us there. So we're still kicking, and I mean, it just shows you though, like how many people, myself included, is used to subscribing to something and then it just loads up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it is a big deal,
I mean, if I was listening to something and it stopped being there, I would think it's dead.
right?
I would then go out and try to find out why it's not there anymore. But that's just me.
Well, some things are really important to people, and some people are casually important to people,
No,
and
I
I
get
think
it,
any podcast kind of falls into that casually important.
man. I
I mean, myself included. I love Slurpcast. Shout out to those guys. I haven't listened to them in a long time until I started walking again at the park.
hmm
And I get excited when I see a new episode on Podbeam and stuff, and I'm like,
I put
ooh,
I put them and Three Die Block on whenever I do long trips, just driving around town.
yeah,
Because I'm
it's
like,
great.
I that gives me a reason to sit there and listen to something, and time flies faster.
Yeah, and it feels like you're the same thing we say about this podcast is like we might not technically be right on Blood Bowl things. We might be wrong on a lot of things. We don't know the rules. Strategy is iffy, but if it feels like you're sitting in our living room talking to us, that's how I feel when I listen to Zorpcast. That's one of the reasons I love that podcast.
Exactly.
So it's always a good time. So, anyways, if you came up and said,
Thank you. That really did mean a lot to me. I don't really know what to say back to those things because it feels weird. Like somebody cares about me or thanking me for just talking, but it does mean a whole lot to me, and I really appreciate that. So, got to see Spencer Stevens.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in many moons.
I ran
He
into him at
he,
Adepticon
he,
the other day.
he reminded me that he is a co-champ with his brother Sean for Boner Storm that year. So
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to bring that up. Yeah, him and Sean won Boner Storm at a Chaos Cup weekend. So many great memories of Boner Storm.
You know, with AI now, we could do a full bonus storm board game.
Well, not with just AI. We could have done it before. I mean, I kind of made a game and sold it for a little bit.
Well, I know, but we could do a board game now.
We could. I don't want to do anything with AI though.
But then you put a hole in the middle, and then
Nope. See, we were doing really good, Steve, until you had to
were we?
pervert this up.
So I'm pretty sure I cussed a lot this time.
Yeah, you're the violent one, man.
I am.
I mean,
I just
you
go
need
off.
you need to calm down.
I do, but I won't.
I have no more to say. I'm rambling.
Okay, we will be back next time. If you're in Washington or Oregon, I'll be at the Oregon tournament this weekend. Aspirin Thorn, very cool. That's named after an old Star player,
Oh, that is really cool.
and it's passing themed, so that's cool.
Good on y'all. Good on y'all.
But yeah, we'll be back next time.
See ya.
You can follow Both Down on Twitter at Both Down. You can follow Scott at Fat Finley, FATFINLEY, and Steve at Kilowog2814. If you want to know if your team name is Both Down approved, send a tweet to @BDapproved. If you'd like to email them, the email address is bothdownpodcasts@gmail.com. Or for more information, you can visit them at bothdown.com or at facebook.com/bothdown.
Lowered expectations.
Steven Seagal, number 612.
Hi, I'm Steven Seagal. As many of you know, a while back I split up with my longtime soulmate, actress and former supermodel Kelly LeBrock. So as you can imagine, I'm looking for someone who's quite attractive. Or at least as attractive as Kelly, which isn't exactly simple when you consider how hot she is. So you can't even be like really hot. I mean, the girl I'm looking for has got to be like extremely, unbelievably hot. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with being just really hot. It's just that, as you can imagine, after being with Kelly for so long, a girl that some guys would consider hot to me is just ugly. Not that there's anything wrong with being ugly. It's just that that's not what I'm looking for. But then ugly's a relative term. I mean, I've never known a girl to say, hey, I'm ugly, but trust me, a lot of you are. I'm sorry to sound like the bad guy. Listen, all I really want is a really, 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 really hot-looking chick. I forget it. I'm just going to stick with my babysitter.
For Steven Seagal, restaurant 612.
Lowered expectations.